Hey, what up, everyone? Let me see if I can get my channel pulled up here as well. Hope you guys are doing well today. This is kind of an impromptu live stream. Wasn't really planning on doing anything. In fact, we'll get into it here in a second. But I've been asleep for 6 hours now, almost 5.5 hours maybe. Um, and of course, in the thumbnail, my eyes are closed. I don't take very good.
Hours now, almost 5.5 hours maybe.
There we go. I sound a little muffled. Is that normal? Let me take this off. Maybe this is maybe this will make it better. There we go. Got the comment ready. Okay. Hopefully that sounds better. Echo, stop itching.
I sound a little muffled. Is that normal? Let me take this off. Maybe this is.
Sorry, I'm just testing everything.
Maybe this will make it better.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. What up? What up? All right. So tonight, like I said, I didn't have anything planned. What I really want to do is I just want to open up these two new McFarlane figures that I got, and so that's what we're going to do today. We got John Stewart, Green Lantern, and then we have Batman Beyond. This is a Target exclusive, and it's funny. I ordered this from Target. I pre-ordered this. I think the day after it went up. I tried to do it the day of, but something was going on with my credit card or something, so I couldn't do it. So I was like, all right, I'll wait, see what's going on. So the next day I was able to do it and pre-order it, and I'm glad because I thought it was going to go away. I thought it was going to sell out, but luckily, at least within the first 48 hours, the pre-orders did not sell out. But as soon as I did get it, it did sell out. So I got it, and then I think a couple hours later, I was like, you know what, maybe I'll go back and get a second one. And then I went back and it was gone. So hey, what's up, Valentin Perez and FN901? Hey, thanks for saying nice setup. I've been working hard on everything. In fact, I've rearranged this room probably 3 times because I know I haven't been making that much content in the past few weeks. In fact, most of the videos that have been going up, I filmed 3 weeks ago. Some of them even before that. So my facial hair is kind of shorter in some of those videos, and yeah, it's there was one the other day I posted a Venom vlog, and then the Venom vlog that went after it was filmed 2 weeks prior, so I looked a little different, like my facial hair was different length and stuff. So now I'm kind of caught up. I have some videos I filmed last week that I'm gonna start working on tomorrow probably, but tomorrow's a big writing day for me, so I'm gonna be doing a lot more writing because it's Easter, so they gave us a day off from work, so I figured I would use that to my writing advantage since I've been I got behind on writing and stuff. Are those Titan figures? Which ones? None of these figures you see are Titan figures. Maybe way down there behind the Venom blog sign, I think there's 2 Halo Master Chief and oh god, I can't remember the other Spartan's name. Tanaka maybe. I think those ones are down there, but no. Otherwise, these are not. There is no Marvel Titan or no Titan heroes here. These are the DC or the Diamond Select statues. So I have Green Lantern, Tom Hardy Bane, Batman Who Laughs, and Black Adam. Then here I have my Spawn shelf. I have Mandarin Spawn, the gold label one. And then I have my 2 Kickstarter Spawn toys. And I have Cygor. And then down here are all my Venom statues. I have Carnage, Agent Venom, Venom, and Black Suit Spider-Man. And then on the very bottom row, you can't see them, but it's all my Predator figures. And then all of these shelves here that say where the Venom blog sign is, all that underneath is all McFarlane DC figures. I don't have every figure, but I have a lot of them. And so that's why we're here today. We're going to open up 2 more and add them to the collection. So we got John Stewart Green Lantern, and we got Batman Beyond. So I'm excited to open these up today. But I figured we can also kind of have a Seek and Destroy episode and talk about whatever, because I haven't done one of those in a while, and I know sometimes when I do my streams where it's I only want to talk about this topic. I know it gets kind of annoying for some of you. So in today's episode, we can talk about whatever the hell you want. The grind don't stop. I know, man. I wish some days I wish I can stop, and I keep telling myself I gotta stop and I gotta slow down. But to be honest with you, I kind of have stopped a lot more than normal. I filmed, like I said, there was a week at the beginning of March that I filmed like 8 videos, and I spent almost the whole month of March uploading those videos. And then now I have like 6 videos from last week. I think 2 of them might be up now, and then the other 4 still haven't even been put up yet. There's some Resident Evil ones, 2 Resident Evil ones from my other channel, and I think 2 more Venom Blood ones, I think. So yeah, save the cheerleader, save the world. What's up, dude? Yes, this is my painting from the show Heroes. And I got some other. I ordered these prints. I spent $55. Like when our stimulus checks came in, I spent 55 of those dollars to get 4 new prints. There was this guy on eBay that was saying he was going to print these like prints, and from the other paintings from Heroes. And I ordered them, and they arrived today, and they are not quality prints. So I wrote the guy and said, "Hey, look, man, he was really nice, and I know he's starting his own eBay business." And I said, "Look, you gotta print from images that are like 600 DPI or more, and you gotta get better quality." I go, "These prints," I go, "I'm really brokenhearted because I don't have $55 to spend on things I'm not going to hang on my wall." Luckily, 2 of the prints are fine, but the other 3 are not. They're like terrible looking. So I said, and even the ones that look fine, they maybe were scanned in at 200 DPI, maybe 300 on one of them, but they don't look that great. So I said, well, from a distance they'll look fine, but up close they will not look fine. So yeah. And then I did this new track lighting around my room with the LEDs. So I have a remote here, and I can shift the colors and stuff. So this has been kind of fun to have as well. Who's your favorite Superman actor? I kind of like them all. I'm honestly not one of those that are that picky. I would say probably, I mean, I love Christopher Reeve, obviously, but I actually really liked George Reeve's Superman. I think I watched that as a kid when he showed up on I Love Lucy. I'm not that old. I think Nick at Night was something that existed when I was a kid, so I was able to rewatch those old shows. And I like Henry Cavill does a great job for the material he gets. I think he could be a better Superman. I'm not but I still like him though. And I like Dean Cain. I actually have a signed Dean Cain picture over here on this wall that's right here at a frame. But I like Dean Cain. I love the kid who played Tom Welling, who played him in Smallville. So I don't know if I have a favorite. I mean, I don't know. Tom Welling might be. I mean, I think I spent most of my life watching that guy as Superman. But I like the voice actors of Superman too. Like, I don't know. I don't think everyone thinks like Superman's this hard character to get right. And I've not seen that. I mean, there's some movies that are bad of Supermans and some stories and stuff for sure. But I think most of the actors that play him bring something cool to the table. So, what's up, Eric Dilday? Eric Dilday, what's up, man? Just hopped on. My wife has a McFarlane Seven Faces of Madness collection in our living room. Interesting conversation starters. No shit. My mom was telling me, I was talking to her about McFarlane. She's like, I'm so glad you still buy McFarlane stuff. Like, that's always been a big thing for you. Like, ever since the first series came out in '94, I think they were called Todd Toys or something, Todd Toys. She was like, you've been a fan of that guy since you were, like 14 years old or whatever, 13 years old. I love that stuff, man. I'm a big fan. So, but yeah, I don't know if I have any of that stuff left. But my mom said I used at one point owned all those like Tortured Souls and all that stuff. You running out of room to put all these figures in your room? I am, J Money. I know it sounds like I sound like a spoiled brat. No, I actually sold some things to pay some bills, and I've been on eBay on and off a little bit more often, trying to find good homes for stuff. If you notice, there's not a lot of Venom stuff behind me anymore. So that I had to I boxed some of it up, and then some of it I got rid of. So I'm just kind of shifting. I love the McFarlane stuff, so pretty much all these shelves are McFarlane, and then down there is some Halo stuff, and that's all the room I got. I took all the shelves out of my living room, so I actually don't display anything out in the living room anymore. I patched up all the holes in the walls because remember I thought I was going to be moving, like 2 months ago. I thought I was going to be moving. So the rest of my apartment, living room, dining room, all that stuff, that's all patched up and cleaned up and looks, as close to new as possible. This is the only room with stuff in it anymore. Everything else I boxed up or got rid of. Good from far, but far from good. Yeah, yes, right. That's a good line. Superman figures, Todd McFarlane. Yeah, I have. I think I have all the Supermans except the infected Superman. I saw it yesterday, and I was like, well, I just didn't want it. I pre-ordered. My birthday's coming up, and I pre-ordered Resident Evil 8 Village, Resident Evil 8 Village, the deluxe version. It was like $200. I pre-ordered it like 2 months ago, and then I realized with a lot of stuff that's going on with me lately, I was just like, you know what, I I I don't want just like this $200 box sitting around, and I'm only going to be playing the game out of it. Maybe I'll display the Chris Redfield statue, but I was like, yeah, I don't feel like making a Resident Evil shelf of collectibles, at least not right now, anyway. Um, so I decided to cancel that $200 pre-order. And my mom was like, "Why would you do that? Like, I know that's like what you wanted. That was like your big birthday gift you wanted this year." And I said, "Yeah, but it's fine. Like, I got other things we got to focus on, like, bills and like hospital visits and echo stuff and things like that." So I said, you know what I'll do is instead of spending $200 on myself, I'll spend $50 on myself and $50 on echo, and then we'll save the other 100 for something else. So I pre-ordered 3 new McFarlane figures that are coming out. I pre-ordered the Cyborg figure, the Ray Fisher one from the Snyder Cut, because I want the character of Cyborg, and that figure looks actually really cool. So instead of getting the animated version of Cyborg, I was like, I'm going to get the Ray Fisher one. So I got that. I pre-ordered the next figure in the Batman Beyond series, which is Shriek. There's a Target exclusive Shriek that's coming out in May, so I pre-ordered that, and that'll have more of the Build-A-Figure. So I pre-ordered that figure, and then I also pre-ordered Wonder Woman wearing Dr. Fate's helmet. I mean, how cool is that? I think that's some kind of exclusive, and that I'm like, I gotta have that. I love Dr. Fate and I love Wonder Woman, so it's a perfect match. And it's from the comic book Last Night on Earth, so that'll go good with my collection. But I just thought it was a cool toy. Oh no, now somebody saved me is stuck in my head. Yeah, that song I don't think ever got out of my head. I think that song survived my aneurysm rupture. Like, I think when I came out on the other side, I could still probably sing that song. What's up, Andrew? How you doing? I just got done watching Falcon Winter Soldier. Did you watch it yet? No, I actually have. I've only seen the first episode. My Disney Plus, I let it cancel. So I'll probably renew Disney Plus again, like in the late summer, and I'll probably binge Winter Soldier and Falcon, Loki, Bad Batch. I'll probably binge everything at that point in the summertime. But yeah, I just can't keep up with a lot of stuff right now. Um, yeah, I'm not. I watched the first episode. That was it. What do you mean, got rid of Venom stuff? Yeah, I know. Well, actually, some of the Venom stuff, I don't know if I got rid of anything. I know I got rid of some stuff recently, like some toys and stuff like that, but I don't, maybe some of them weren't Venom. I think I got rid of some Marvel Legends, but not the Venom ones. I think I got rid of my other Marvel Legends, like the Spider-Man ones and some of the other Marvel characters I had. I think, because I have a box in my closet that's labeled Venom, so I'm going to assume that everything was back here is in that box because it's a big box. So yeah, I think because like I said, I thought I was moving, so I just started boxing everything up. And at first, I only had this shelf behind me with some of these statues, and then I didn't move, and then more stuff started coming in. So I was like, all right, I'll just stick it on the shelf. Yeah, did you play Resident Evil 8? No, it's not out yet, right? So yeah, no, not yet. But there is a beta for more Resident Evil Reverse, I think this week coming up. So you might see me play more of that because I had a lot of fun playing that a couple months ago when they did the closed beta. Now they're going to do an open beta. So I'm hoping there's more characters, more maps, maybe at least one more map, and maybe one or two more characters. That would be cool to see them add to it, but I don't know what they're going to do yet. So we'll see. Henry Cavill's the best Superman. See, there you go. Like, I mean, everyone has their favorite. I like I said, I think most of our favorites are like the generation we grew up with for the most part. So obviously, I'm stuck somewhere between like a Christopher Reeve, Dean Cain, Tom Welling. Like, I'm kind of in that spectrum, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I like them all. Like I like the character of Superman. I don't actually think he's as hard to portray or write as people make it out to be. Like, I think people overthink him a lot, and I'm like, that's the thing about Superman is he's pretty direct and kind of simple, like in some ways, not like in an offensive way. Like, he grew up in Kansas. So things are pretty much right in front of him, I've kind of always liked that about Superman. He's just kind of like this good work ethic, good at heart, kind of just tries his best, like fails, but represents the best of us and like what he wants to see the best of humanity. Like I kind of like that. I don't know. I like Superman. Invincible has been great. I heard, yeah, that's a great comic book, but I haven't seen the show yet. Um, so while we're talking, since I'm caught up on comments, we're going to open one of my favorite DC characters of all time, which is John Stewart, Green Lantern. He's definitely, well, Abin Sur, I would argue, is probably my favorite Green Lantern. But as far as Earth Green Lanterns, well, technically Abin Sur is an Earth Green Lantern because he protects 2814. But John Stewart is my favorite. But I love Hal. Like that's another thing. It's like I'm sure at one point in my life I was that kind of person that fought over who's the best at this, who's the best. I know for a fact I probably had those arguments. But as I get older, I look back and I just realize, wow, I just like this stuff. Like, I think the fighting was silly of me to do. Like, to me, I should have embraced more people who had different opinions and liked different characters, and stuff. And so that's kind of how I've gotten as an older person. um, but yeah, I really love Jon Stewart though, and I've heard a lot of things about like he was going to probably be in the Snyder Justice League movie and things like that, and that's all great and stuff. I just can't like he's one of those characters that I just as long as they do him justice. I really like the guy who plays him on Arrow, John Diggle, and I think they revealed that his real name was John Diggle Stewart in one of the seasons, which was really cool. That guy used to actually shop at my Lego store in California, which was also really cool when I worked there. And yeah, he was. I think in the final episode of Arrow, he got the Green Lantern ring. So I'm curious because I think he's going to be directing like an episode of Superman coming up, and I think he's going to appear as John Diggle maybe in the episode. There's a lot of rumors, obviously, so I don't know what's true or not. But I hope that's true because I love Jon Stewart. I like that actor. So yeah, I would say Abin Sur is probably kind of close to my favorite. But as far as Green Lanterns from Earth, Jon Stewart number one, Hal Jordan very close second. I think Guy Gardner and Kyle may actually be tied because I go back and forth. Kyle, I wasn't a big fan of Kyle at first in the comics, but he grew on me very quickly. And Guy Gardner, I've always loved. He's just a prick. Like I like the idea of a prick who gets the Green Lantern powers, and a prick who likes to have a beer. Like Guy Gardner feels like just like a regular person to me. So I always like that about him. Jessica Cruz is a great Green Lantern because I like that she deals with agoraphobia and anxiety, and that's very modern. Like I think a lot of young people kind of go through a lot of that now. They get this like added pressure to them for kind of no reason, but it's just like a society thing. Like they see people succeed online, and they just like they yearn for it and they want it, and it adds. So whenever they go through a day or two where they feel non-productive, they feel like they're not doing anything, and it depresses them and it gives them anxiety. Things have to happen now and now and now, and so I kind of like Jessica Cruz because she's kind of a window into that generation and what they're going through. And Simon Baz is also like a window into a specific generation of people who are maybe like a little post 9/11 and like kind of more, I guess, like more like dealing with like Middle Eastern affairs and kind of that topic, and getting people talking about things that that are involved in that culture and stuff. And so I honestly, I don't think there's a Green Lantern I haven't liked, out of the new ones even. Like I think a lot of the new ones are really great too. But since I've had more time with the other ones, of course, those are going to be my favorites. But I do like if you haven't seen that Justice League versus Fatal 5 movie, where it has Jessica Cruz and Starman in it, and it's like the cool Starman, the one from the future who is a Legion member who's kind of like losing his mind. Awesome, great movie. It's a really great movie. Who's your favorite Green Lantern? Let me know who your favorite Green Lantern is. I found the second appearance of Hal Jordan at Antique Mall for $25. Holy cow, that's a darn good find. So unfortunately, again, I don't really do toy review videos because of like obviously for obvious reasons. I did the Spawn figures the other day, but those are more collectors, and I think these are more collectors too. But it pulls in a type, like a specific audience, and I don't want people to come here looking for toy reviews all the time because I just don't make them enough. Like I probably buy enough to make them, I just don't. But so you won't get a super detailed look at this guy, but I do love his look. I mean, his his suit is really neat. There's a lot of like little details in the suit. I remember McFarlane on Instagram before I walked out on Instagram for a little while. Um, he made a video about these toys and how when they were coming out this month in April, and he said that Green Lantern was a character that he feels always had like too plain of a costume. He never really thought it was visually neat. Um, so he asked Marvel. He asked DC like, "Hey, can I add some details to him? Can I like do a Green Lantern my way?" And they were like, "Sure, okay." So he added all these little details in the costume that are like really like these little rivets and padding and things like that. And I thought that was really neat. And then some detail in the green because the last time McFarlane made a Green Lantern figure, it was also John Stewart, but it was the animated series version. And which, by the way, I hope he makes Hawkgirl, Martian Manhunter, and maybe Wonder Woman, so that way we can complete the initial team, and I guess Aquaman at some point, because that Jason Momoa Aquaman toy looks terrible. Like I want to own an Aquaman for my DC collection, but that Jason Momoa one, the head sculpt looks terrible. I can't do it. So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna hope they do like an exclusive version of Aquaman where he's got like a helmet or something, because I can't buy that one. It's not very faithful to Jason Momoa. Um, but yeah, so McFarlane was saying, can I add details to it? And they did, and it's fantastic. But you can have this, and then you can have this green aura kind of go on top of them, so it adds a little bit of texture to his look, adds like a little bit of glow to the green, which is really cool. And then he's got a backpack that you put on. And then he's got this amazing Gatling gun. I love this. This is so hardcore and cool looking. Um, and how the hell does he hold it? I guess like this. Um, yeah. And does he have extra hands? No. Some of these guys come with extra hands, but he does not. But that's all right. So there we go. You can have him hold it like that. That's cool. And it's from this Todd McFarlane, Jim Lee artwork, piece of artwork. So that's pretty damn cool. And then you just put him on his stand. Oh, he looks awesome. I love John Stewart, man. That's the thing I liked about Green Lanterns. I grew up on military bases and stuff like that, and although I don't remember a lot of that stuff, I guess it still resonates with me. That mentality, that military mentality of honor and camaraderie and things like that. And so I kind of like that the Green Lantern Corps represents that. You don't really get that in a lot of comic book characters. A lot of them are superheroes that are like putting on a mask and just going out and doing these like, heroic and selfless deeds and stuff. But they're more like firefighters or policemen to an extent. Like you can compare them to those kind of professions. Not a lot of them you can compare to soldiers. Obviously, Captain America being one that you can. But the Green Lantern Corps, I always liked that. They felt like military and police to an extent because they have like sectors, and so you can look at them as like, oh, they have sectors, which is like a beat. So it's like, all right, you're a cop of Sector 2814. That's your beat. You got to walk that beat. So you can look at them that way too. But I always kind of seen them as like a military for the universe and military more like peacekeepers in the traditional sense of military, which is like, hey, we're going to deploy you to these areas to keep the peace. And if something goes awry, you're there to help out. But you can look at it either way: police, military, whatever. Ryan Reynolds, your favorite Green Lantern? Nice. Hal Jordan is the best. Nice. Yeah, I like Hal Jordan. He's really awesome. Is there a Todd McFarlane Hal Jordan Green Lantern figure? There is not, but there is a NECA Green Lantern. I think it was by NECA. I have it over here on one of my shelves. I think it's like right there. I don't know how well you can see it, but that's Hal Jordan. And right behind it is a Yellow Lantern Predator. It was something my friend Chris got me from New York Comic Con one year, and it was the only thing I wanted, and he was like, "Hey, I'll get it for you." I was like, "Really?" He goes, "Yep, I'll buy it for you and I'll give it to you." So he was so nice to do that. I still haven't sent it yet, but it is boxed up. I got to reach out to Chris. I got to get back on Instagram this week and just send out a couple messages to people. So if you wrote me over there sometime this week, I'll try to check it. But I'm going to send him Venom Pool because he wanted the Venom Pool figure. And I'm like, dude, you got me, the Green Lantern versus Predator. Like, so hell yeah, man. I'm going to send you, you can have whatever you want. So I was like, I'll send you that Venom Pool. All right, let's see. Green Lantern, who is part of the Justice League, Hal Jordan or John Stewart? I guess it does. I mean, it depends on which Justice League. Classic Justice League has Hal Jordan. The current, or the Scott Snyder, not Zack Snyder, but the Scott Snyder Justice League that ended its run like a year ago, right before Death Metal. It had John Stewart, and actually he became a new Lantern called an Ultraviolet Lantern. It was pretty neat. Yeah, it was a neat concept, but it didn't stick around long. I think eventually Sinestro took that power from him. But John Stewart was a member of the Justice League for that time. And obviously, if you're an animated series fan, John Stewart is your Green Lantern because him and Hawkgirl had a connection. Which, by the way, I think they're going to touch on a little bit because I saw a preview of the new Green Lantern book that my friend Jeff Thorne is writing, and they showed a preview of issue 1, and it shows John Stewart teaming up with Hawkgirl in it. And I'm like, oh, is he going to revisit that animated series connection? Because I think Dwayne McDuffie did when Dwayne McDuffie took over Justice League. I think he did. And the reason is some of you are probably like, oh damn man, your brain, you're remembering a lot of stuff. I've actually, for the Black Adam show that I'm doing now, I've been watching a lot of Justice League and Justice Society. I've been reading a lot of Justice League and Justice Society comic books. So I own a shit ton of it on Comixology. And I just was like, oh, I own this? Let me read it. And I own the Dwayne McDuffie Justice League run. So I was like, let me check that out. And so I've been reading a lot of stuff lately. So when I'm not, because like I said, I'll film like 6, 7, 8 videos in a day, somewhere around there, like in a day or two. And then I'll spend like 2 weeks uploading all of them. And that's just kind of the new schedule I'm doing because I can't overwhelm myself. So on the days I'm not filming or editing, I'm not feeling well. So I'm usually laying in bed reading comic books or playing my new Nintendo Switch. So I've been reading a lot of stuff lately, like a lot. Ryan Reynolds wasn't that great in the movie. Well, the thing is, the movie, I think, what was the not great part. I mean, the movie's fine. Like, it's an okay movie, but I think the material could have been better. And I think if it was, I think Ryan would have shined more in it. I think Ryan's a good actor, and I think he was a good pick for Hal. But just the movie didn't do the best Hal. Yeah, the world's worst babysitter. Maybe they just the screenplay of the movie, but it looked stale. I mean, it's the movie in general. So, all right, Batman Beyond. Let's open this guy up. Batman Beyond's another character I'm a huge fan of. A lot of my window into the DC universe did come from comics, but then into the early '90s, I kind of, after Batman got his back broken and Superman died and returned, I kind of started shifting over to Marvel and reading a lot more Marvel stuff. So I kind of missed a pocket of most characters in the DC universe in the '90s. I think I read probably Green Lantern, and I think I stuck with Batman for a little while and Superman for a little while. But I think those I got bored of them. They didn't keep my interest, and I didn't get back into Superman and Batman until closer to the year 2000ish. I think. I'm just going off what my collection says, like when I go through my old collection. So there looks like there's a big gap in those characters. Same with, but Green Lantern, it looks like I stuck with for a while, and Grant Morrison's Justice League, it looked like I stuck with that for a while too. But but my main DC universe intake in the '90s was the cartoons. So I just really loved the cartoons. I think I was a teenager when those were coming out. I think Batman the Animated Series. When did that start? Like 92ish. So I would have been like 10 or 11. So I started falling into that. So like my first exposure to a lot of characters, I might have seen them for a glimpse in a comic book, but I probably didn't know their backstory, until I saw them on the animated series. So like I knew what Clayface was because I seen him in books, but I didn't really know his story until the Matt Hagen stuff from the cartoon, where they kind of mixed Matt Hagen with Basil Carlo. And then like Dr. Fate, as you'll see when I talk about him in my new Black Adam show, Dr. Fate was one of those characters that I didn't know. I'm sure I've seen him in a comic or two, but he wasn't Kent Nelson. He wasn't Kent Nelson in the comics at that time. I think Kent had died. So yeah, so I'm excited to talk about those characters in my Black Adam show for sure. I'm not seeing the cartoons drive the kids into the comic shop like they did when we were kids. Well, I'll be honest with you. I think some of that has to do with some of the cartoons. Plus, there's not like a set time. If you notice that, like, and that's something to consider. Sorry, it's so loud. I wish I had a good pair of scissors here so that I didn't have to use my blade to cut these. There we go. Sorry, this figure is like tied in like 4 different spaces, so I didn't see it. I was like, oh, I took that tab off. Oh, nope, there's something else. Oh, nope, there's something else. Oh, no, there's something else. So yeah, I'll show it off here in a second. I'm going to keep it off. But just keep this in mind. When we were growing up, probably there was a day, right? Like you got out of school at like 3 o'clock usually, and Batman would be on Fox at like 3:30 or 4, and then you jump over, or actually on Fox, then it would be X-Men and Spider-Man, in a couple years later and stuff. So to me, like, we had like this designated time to watch cartoons, and even though cartoons pick a day, like, hey, on this night we're going to show this cartoon, or this day we're going to show this. It's not like TV is not like it was when we were kids, like where it was like, okay, we did our homework, we go sit and watch TV, and we consume these cartoons. It's not a mandate anymore, and kids have so much other things, like they have like tablets and YouTube and games, mobile games, stuff. Like there's so many other things that could pull them in all these different directions. So it's hard to say like, hey, Saturday mornings for cartoons. Like that just doesn't exist anymore. So I think the cartoons do their best to tell stories that hopefully will get kids into comics, but because they're not like really, there's not like a cultural thing to watch cartoons on a certain morning and have your cereal, and and your parents can relax and they can maybe sleep in a little bit, or at least chill out on the couch and close their eyes while you're watching cartoons. Like there's no day for that anymore, and so that's not a thing anymore. So because of that, I think is also what hurts cartoons being a gateway into kids finding comics. Sure, you can sit your kid down and say, hey, on Saturday we're going to go on Netflix and find a cartoon and watch it, and you can become a fan. That's certainly how kids find like PJ Masks and other things like that sometimes. But yeah, I don't know. It's not like it was. So I think that's something to factor in as well. Hey, Voorhees, what's up? A lot of Lobo in the 90s. That explains why you're such an awesome person. Lobo had a Lobo had a series called Lobo's Back, and they made this goofy cover where it was like Lobo's back is back, and he's like sitting there like pointing at his back like this, and he's like, and it says like Lobo's back is back or something like that. It's really goofy. Yeah, Lobo's a great character. All right, we'll get to the figure here in a second. I want to pull out the card and the base for it, so I got to cut this without cutting myself, hopefully. So anyway, the reason why I probably look a little tired and sound a little out of it. I had a pretty rough day today. I haven't been feeling that well in general, obviously with everything that's going on. So, and I didn't sleep a lot last night, and so this morning I had a little bit of an incident at work. I kind of started to forget things again, but luckily I didn't forget like last time where I forgot like a whole week, of my life. Like this time it was just, I think maybe like an hour or something, because I kind of remembered coming to work, but I didn't know how long I had been there. So I kind of had a minor episode, but I was okay. I just started to lose track of my breathing. It's kind of a jarring feeling. So I just kind of went into the corner quietly and just took my mask off and just kind of took some deep breaths. And then I just try to tough it out. But the problem was it gave me like an intense headache. So I got back to it and I started, just trying. I was really quiet. My coworker was like, "Hey, you've been really quiet. Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, I think I had just like a minor incident, but it's fine. Like I feel fine, and my head hurts though." And I go, "So I'm gonna try to tough this out." But then the past few days, I've also had this like tickle in my throat. And I've been drinking a lot of Mucinex. So I went to the back to go to the bathroom, and I ended up throwing up. And thank God I went to the back bathroom, like not the one customers use too. Um, so I went to the back bathroom, and because I was like, my stomach feels weird, and I ended up throwing up a little bit. And so I was like, okay, I don't feel good. So then it was around lunchtime, and I said, I don't want to eat lunch. Like I'm not right now anyway. I said, so I let my two coworkers go to lunch before me, and by the time they were done with lunch, it was like 3-ish. Like before. By the time both of them had come back from lunch, at this point it was already 3 or 3:15, and we close at 5. And so I said, well, if I clock out now and I clock back and I take a 30-minute lunch and I come back, it'll be like 4:15 because at this point it was like 3:30-ish or somewhere around there. I said, if I clock out now and do that, I'm gonna, what's the point? Like I'm gonna be missing most of the afternoon anyway. So I said, hey, look, I'm not feeling good. I'm still a little shaken from earlier. Maybe it's just best if I go home and go to bed. And she's like, yeah, I think that's a good idea. Plus, we had died down at that point. So it's like, the two of us can handle this. Like, you go home and go to bed. I was like, you sure you're good? Because I tried really, I really do. Because the thing is, if this starts affecting my work too much, they're not going to keep me around. So I was like, I gotta tough this out. But my head was hurting too bad. And it was so noisy because we had like an event today. So I just finally was like, are you guys good? It's dead. It's dying down now. We hit our goal for the day. So kind of, I was like, I felt like, all right, I did my job. I helped sell some things. And I think we're good. And they were like, yeah, we did it. We hit our goal. We're fine. Why don't you go? Because if you clock out now, you're just going to come back for 30 minutes anyway. So why don't you just go home early and we'll take it from here. And I said, that's awesome. And so I left. I could still feel the tickle in my throat. So I came home, down some Mucinex, went right to bed. And yeah, so then I woke up, like my mom actually woke me up. She called me and she's like, I haven't heard from you all day. I was worried, and I'm like, oh shit. I tried calling her when I got her to work, but she didn't answer. So I tried calling you earlier. Um, so anyway, so that was my day. And then so she woke me up and then I walked Echo and then I came right to do this stream because I was like, well, I got these two toys here. I'm like, let's check them out. And then that way I can do an AMA with you guys and kind of just talk about everything. Because like I said, I haven't done a Seek and Destroy in a while. So once we finish these toys, we'll talk more and I'll catch up on the comments. But I just wanted to open these up and add them to my shelf. I was like, I can't be patient. I can't go make videos on these like later. I gotta do it now. Bro, I finally build the Merciless. Oh man, that's the only reason I want those 4 figures. I have no desire really for any of those figures except for wanting the Merciless. But then if I get the Merciless, I'm gonna want the other evil Batmans like Murder Machine and Red Death and all that, and the Robins and the Crows. And I'm just like, for me, it's easier for me to skip all the metal stuff. I have Batman Who Laughs from the first season of the first series of McFarlane, and then I have the Batman in the trench coat with the motorcycle. Those are only death metal figures or metal figures that I have. I can't go down that rabbit hole. I can't spend all that money. I don't have it. Well, that was loud on the mic. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I should have done it over here. I'm so sorry. I'm not thinking right now. Sorry if you're wearing headphones. I'm so sorry about that. It was Warner Brother Network for me. Oh yeah, WB. That's right. Zeke, do you hear about Venom 2 getting pushed back? Yeah, oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I tweet. I mean, if you look at, I have a community tab on here, guys, because if I notice it doesn't get a lot of views, I think. But if you click on my channel and you click community, it's like Facebook updates. So I put on there about the Venom delay. So if you're ever wondering if I covered some news, sometimes I might be like, it's not worth making another video on another delay. So I might just post it on the community board. So you can always check my community board and see stuff over there. Okay, so let's check out this Batman Beyond figure. First, let's look at this. Oops. So this has little wheels that are falling out of it for the joints. So be careful of that because you're going to be hanging on to this for a while. I think the next piece that comes in are the arms. So that'll be nice because these keep falling out. And that's going to be a pain in the butt to hold, like on your shelf. Like, they don't stay in at all. And so that's going to be a pain in the butt for your collection to house this and make sure you don't lose these two circles at the same time. That sucks because yeah, they do not stay in without your putting pressure on them. So we have this Futures End Batman. So there was in the new 52, they wanted to do another 52 weekly series type thing because they did so well with 52, but then they shit the bed, in my opinion, with Countdown to Final Crisis. I thought that was a shit series. It had some good moments, but mostly it was a shit series. But they were like, oh, we can do it again. We can capture that success again. It's like, so they did one called Futures End for New 52, which wasn't bad. And then actually, if you've seen the Apocalypse War Justice League movie, they pull some ideas from the Futures End stuff. So Futures End, I think, was a lot better than Countdown, but it still wasn't as good as 52, obviously. But in it, there's this brother OMAC, takes over the world, and I think maybe Darkseid uses the technology too, and with the anti-life equation or something, and everyone becomes like these cyborg metal people, like the Borg. And so what they do is they fuse Batman's brain with Joker's brain. So they actually fuse them together. So you can turn this around and make it Joker with the bat ears, or you can turn him around and make him Batman. And that's like a plot point in the storyline. So this is the Build-A-Figure. So he'll have legs, arms, and then like a bunch. There's holes on his back for a bunch of like wing type things that will come out. They're like bat wings, but they're metal and they can like move and stab and like Dr. Octopus style kind of. So this is the Build-A-Figure. So the way you have to get this is you have to pre-order or risk buying. Like if they actually hit stores, which I think they will, they come out in Target. So that Batman Beyond, you will find this in Target right now. If you notice, his mouth is covered up in a way that is not very animated series accurate. That's because this Batman Beyond is the Batman Beyond from Future's End. So he's got a slightly different facial mold. And you can't take it off. It doesn't unsnap. It's all molded in. I thought it was something that could unsnap and you can reveal his face. So that way you could have both versions of the character. But that is not the case. This does not come off. Nope. I just tried picking it off and it does not. So, but he does have the Batman Beyond wings. So it's the same figure, same body, but it's just not the same head. And he has these little tabs underneath his arms here, and they plug into the holes in the wings, so that way you can mimic, his signature, glide from the cartoon series. So there you go. You can kind of do that with them. So there's this version of Terry McGinnis, Batman Beyond, and he comes with some extra hands, one for each hand, an extra hand for each one, and then he has two Batarangs, two of the Batman Beyond Batarangs, which are really nice looking. There's a second Batman Beyond that does not come with this. So for people who just want Batman Beyond, you won't get this figure. So this is $25 when you get on Target.com. It's sold out now. Maybe they'll get more later, but it was a pre-order, and mine just came in today. So I don't know if they'll re-release them or anything. But there will be another Terry McGinnis that comes out that's more accurate to the animated series, and it comes with one of those plastic arms that you can hook into his back, and so it can make it look like he's flying. And he has rocket boosts that come like fire that come out of his boots, and that's a $20 figure. So this is $25, and you get this piece to do the Build-A-Figure. Or you can buy a $20 version that has a different face and rocket boosts and the plastic arm. So yeah, and a different card too, because this card is the one that comes with the exclusive. It has what the Joker Batman Future's End toy is going to look like on it. So that way you know what you're building. And the next figure that's coming out in the series is called Shriek, and they're doing the same thing again. There's a Target exclusive Shriek, which I just pre-ordered because that's one of my birthday gifts to myself. I pre-ordered that Shriek with the arms for this, and that Shriek comes with a helmet that Shriek is wearing. But you can buy a $20 version of Shriek that comes out a month later, and he does not have the helmet on. He has his regular human face, and he does not come with a Build-A-Figure piece. So it's just a matter of which ones you can get your hands on. So for those of you collecting out there. I get Batman Death Metal and Bat Cycle a masterpiece. Oh yeah, those two together, him on the cycle is amazing looking. It's Seek, not Zeke. That's true. Thank you, Eddie's mullet. Um, yeah, I don't think. I mean, I think J Money knows that, and I think he's probably just trolling me a little bit. But yeah, it's Seek with an S. I mean, it's actually on the screen when I take these comments away. See, Seek, Seek and Destroy. Uh, so yeah. Going to my basketball rec league and watching my recorded VHS of my Saturday block was the best. Hey, nice. Heck yeah, man. Studying your moves, huh? Sweet. Yeah, thanks. I have that one. You do? Nice. Sweet, sweet. You plan on getting the vaccine? We're not talking. We don't talk about that kind of stuff here, J Money. Like, I know this is an AMA and stuff like that, but we talk about comic book stuff. Like last time there was an argument that literally broke out in the chat, and I almost blocked people. So I will. My tolerance level, by the way, is it's gonna turn to 0. You guys will see. Now that we're gonna talk about Black Adam, that's a character who's a lot more direct than Venom is. And when things don't go his way, he's kind of like, "Hey, fuck you. You're not part of this party anymore." That's how I'm gonna be from now on. I don't have time to stress about anything. I don't have time to worry about stuff. I have real health issues going on. So even if you think it's a simple question or a silly thing, if I say, "Hey, I'm not talking about that kind of stuff," and you persist, then I'm just going to block people. So the reason about the vaccine is, like I said before, I've already answered this question before. So yeah, I will get it when it's available for people under 40. I'm not 40 yet, so I can't get it, but I will get it. But I don't want to talk about that stuff because there are people in the chat sometimes that have different opinions than that, and I don't want to cause arguments and debates about things like that because I don't care. I've never opened any of my figures. Am I missing out? Should I open some more? I don't know, Voorhees. I don't know. I'm one of those that I have to open them. I keep some things sealed up. Like I don't even know why this is still sealed up. I have the gold label blue Mandarin spawn. They're going to release a red version pretty soon. That's like not so limited, I guess. I should just open this thing. I don't know why I don't, but I just haven't yet. I also have all of these Predator figures that my brother got me, and they're still in the box. I don't know why. So I would say you're not missing out on anything. I mean, unless you're going to play with them. I don't really play with mine. Although sometimes when I'm writing or I'm like editing Neverland and stuff, I do pull a figure or two off the shelf, and I just kind of have them on my desk, and then I will mess with them. Like when I'm not typing and I'm thinking, I'll just sit here and kind of do this, and I'll bend the figure. I'll pick a new pose for them, and then I'll pop them back on the shelf like 10 minutes later and maybe grab another one. So that's the only reason I think that's the only time they get like any play, and I'm not really playing with them. I'm just kind of, whatever, just kind of messing with them. So I do that sometimes. So I don't know. I wouldn't say you're missing out on anything, but yeah, I think however you collect is fine. I think I was on a stream recently where someone on the Nerdicide podcast, and they were like, he keeps all the stuff still in the box, and he had said he opened 2 things and he was already regretting it. He was like, I'm looking over at them. They look cool, but I regret it. The cool thing about these McFarlane figures, they're the ones from the Kickstarter. These you can rebox. Like, how cool is that? Like, if you watch my video on them, you can literally put them back in the plastic. Everything's there. They weren't like held down by a lot of strings and stuff. So you can just place them back in the plastic, put all their accessories in there, put the plastic on, slide the comic book back in, snap it together, and then have the box like with the figure still in it. You can redisplay it. I mean, how cool is that? What a great idea, actually. Yeah, man, I'm getting it too. My mom and grandparents are getting it. It's the only way things will go back to normal. Yeah, okay. Hey, hope you're doing good. Dope shirt. Hey, thanks, man. Yeah, I wanted to wear my Batman Beyond shirt today. The Rock lay at the SmackDown. Yeah, that's the thing is like Black Adam is a kind of a no nonsense character. He doesn't really deal with bullshit. And I was like, yeah, that'll be good because Eddie Brock's his character. He's a nice guy at heart, and he's like wants to help where he can. He's just a little misguided on how he helps. But Black Adam is not like that. Black Adam is like Oh, you don't want my help? Well, sorry, you're getting it anyway. Black Adam is kind of no nonsense, and so I just figured, yeah, you know what? If I tell people like, hey man, this is how I feel, like let's not discuss it, and then people persist, then that's just a blatant disrespect. Like if you ask people like, hey man, this is just a topic we don't talk about here, let's not talk about it, and they keep talking about it, then what else are you supposed to do? Like I'm not going to tolerate disrespect. So it's because I try. I mean, like I said, I try to respect everyone's opinions here, and I try not to talk about certain things because we see arguments break out all the time. It's like if we're going to argue over like what Green Lantern's better, what Venom is better, that's not really an argument. We're more like debating and kind of having like a fun conversation and laying out our points. But real world issues like that, like I don't do a drama show here. So trying to bring drama to the show, that will also get people banned. Because I noticed that too. Someone pointed out to me, they were like, yeah, sometimes people come into your comments and they just talk about hot button topics to get drama being discussed. And he goes, and my friend told me, he goes, if that happens, block those people instantly. I said, yeah, you're right, because we're not here to talk about those things. There are other channels out there where you can go get that energy out. We're not here to provide a home for that kind of energy. What up, IPV? What's up? How you doing? Those Spawn ones are wicked. I love those Spawn figures. They were worth the wait, man. That's why I mean I've been behind on Kickstarter stuff too, and even currently. So like but I'm trying to catch up and finish Neverland this year and everything. So it's like I don't get mad about Kickstarters being late. In fact, most of my Kickstarters that I backed, I don't think I even got the rewards for them. But I'm like, well, I don't really do that sometimes either. Like I don't donate for the reward usually. Sometimes I just do it because it's a friend, or I think it's a cool project. And if it never comes in, I just go, whatever. Like I actually don't get that mad about it. So you recommend the Bane Build-A-Figure? I really want to complete it. I do. Holy shit. He's right there with Scarecrow on his back. And they're awesome. Like I definitely recommend it. Because the Wonder Woman that series is a fantastic figure. The Batman with the Joker head is a fantastic figure. The Scarecrow is a great figure. The only one that's the weak link to me is Omega. And he's still a cool figure overall, but he's not like, who cares? I finished that book, by the way, The Last Night on Earth, and I found out his identity and stuff, and I was like, it's kind of cool. But, I don't know, not really. I don't care. But the Omega figure, what's frustrating is that he's smaller in the toy, but in the comic, he's kind of yoked. And there's a reason for that, considering who he is in the comic. But yeah, he's bigger. So, the toy even feels not like it's living up to even the comic version of that character, who I just thought was like, okay, it's whatever. It's an Elseworlds type story anyway. So, I haven't seen all of Batman Beyond. Is Bane a part of that show? I don't want to spoil that for you. Sorry, I didn't mean to point at you with the knife. I don't want to spoil that for you. But watch the first season of Batman Beyond. And, I think I'd love to hear your opinion on it. If you have HBO Max, watch Batman Beyond, because I think all the DC animated stuff is up there now. So there's Batman, the animated series, seasons 1, 2, and 3. This is the order you got to watch it in. Seasons 1, 2, and 3 of Batman animated series. Then Superman seasons 1, 2, and 3. Or you can do seasons 1 and 2 of Superman. And then season 4 of Batman, which I think is called the new Batman and Robin Adventures. So, and that's the new animation style, the one that's more like Justice League and Superman. So you have Batman 1, 2, and 3, Superman 1 and 2, Batman 3, then Superman 3. Then you can watch Zeta Project, which is like 6 episodes. Actually, no, watch Batman Beyond, seasons 1 and 2, and Static Shock, seasons 1. And I think there's 2. Maybe there's 1 and 2. I can't remember how many seasons of Static Shock there are. But so watch Batman Beyond 1 and 2 and Static Shock 1 and 2. Then watch Zeta Project, if it's around, if you can find it. It's not a great show, but it does tie in a little bit to Batman Beyond. And then watch Batman Beyond season 3, the final season. And then obviously watch all the anime, like watch Mask of the Phantasm, watch Return of the Joker, watch Sub-Zero. Those are the animated movies that tie into that universe. Echo. Hey. Echo. What are you doing? He's being weird over there. Then after we finish Batman Beyond, Justice League seasons 1 and 2, and then Justice League Unlimited season 1 and 2. and that's pretty much a whole universe. That's almost like the MCU in animated form, but for DC. Like, it's so funny. Like, everyone's like, "Oh, Marvel, they set up this big universe." I'm like, that's crazy, because the DC animated universe kind of did that. They did Batman, then they went Superman, then they did Batman Beyond, and then they did Justice League and started tying everything together. And then throughout Batman show and Superman show, they introduced characters like Martian Manhunter, well, not Martian Manhunter, but they introduced Green Lantern, and some of the other characters, and then Justice League introduced the rest. So it was kind of nice. They kind of set all the groundwork in those Batman Superman shows, and then went into Justice League. But yeah, if you haven't seen all that, watch it. But yeah, check out season 1 of Batman Beyond. I think it'll hook you, because there's the cool thing about that. If you ever watch the commentary and stuff and the behind the scenes of Batman Beyond, because I own the box set of it, and there's all these great special features and interviews and stuff, and they talk about how when they were told to do they were like, okay, we're finishing Batman the animated series. So Warner Bros. Like, hey, we would like another Batman animated series, obviously, but we want a younger Batman. Like, we don't want, because Bruce was very much an adult in the previous cartoon. They were like, we want a young Batman. So I think originally they were going to do a young Bruce Wayne who was like 18 years old. And then as they were developing the story, they just realized, well, this journey he goes on isn't exactly a Bruce Wayne journey, but maybe it could be a new character. So then they came up with the idea for Terry McGinnis and have it continue the cartoon series and have Bruce be old in it. And they talked about how they were like told, you should do Riddler Beyond and Joker Beyond and Mr. Freeze Beyond and all that stuff. And they said very early on that after they had those initial conversations, they realized we don't want to do any of that. We want to do all new characters if we can, and bring in a whole new rogues gallery of villains, but occasionally from time to time go back and touch on whatever happened to Bane, whatever happened to Mr. Freeze, whatever happened to Harley Quinn. And so throughout the show, there's all these little great episodes that give you that too. But then also there's a lot of episodes that just introduce brand new villains. So I would say I think you'll like your answer, or you'll like what they do, but I don't know for sure. But I'd love to hear your opinion, so check it out. Hope Todd does some of the Royal Flush Gang. Oh my God, that would be awesome. I was just thinking that's a great one. I didn't think of that. Like, but once you said it now, I'm like, that would be a cool series. You could get King, Queen, Jack, and 10, and build an ace could be the Build-A-Figure, and they could all come with playing cards that they can stand on instead of these little things. They could come with playing cards. That's actually genius. Well, I think McFarlane, I don't have Facebook, so I can't do it. But if any of you do, you can go to McFarlane's Facebook and you can put in a request. You can request toys to be made. And apparently that's how this Batman Beyond toy got made. So it was because of the amount of requests they got. So yeah, go on there and say, we want Royal Flush Gang, and tell them to make King, Queen, Jack, and 10, and make the Build-A-Figure ace. That would be super badass. Also, the episode JLA titled Epilogue is listed out of order on HBO Max. It should be the very last episode. Epilogue was the last episode of season 1 of Justice League Unlimited when it aired. The very last episode of Justice League Unlimited, I think, is perfect, because that's the one that's a two-parter where they fight Darkseid, who mixed with Brainiac, right? It's called like Destroyer, I think, is the last episode, and that's where Superman is like beating the living crap out of Darkseid. After they like evacuate Metropolis or whatever, he like beats the crap out of him. So I think that's a more appropriate ending, because it kind of ends on like a kind of like an upbeat note, like all the villains who helped them fight Darkseid. At the end, all the heroes they're like, oh wait, are you gonna arrest us now? And Batman goes, you're gonna have a 5-minute head start. And they're like, for real? And he's like, 5 minutes and counting. And then they go, crap, and then they all run. And then Superman goes, 5 minutes. He goes, you're getting soft in your old age, Bruce. And he's like, yeah. And then they kind of like go off and back to work, back to fight the bad guys. So I like the way Justice League Unlimited ends, because it's like, the battle never really ends. It keeps going. Batman Beyond Epilogue, the Justice League Unlimited episode Epilogue is how they wrapped up season 1 of Justice League Unlimited, and I think it fits better there, because that's where it aired. I wish Marvel had the quality animated content. It's so funny. Marvel literally is owned by Disney now, and that quality. I mean, I'm not saying they make bad cartoons, but it's going to be hard to capture that 90s stuff again. But the thing is that, how the MCU is now, where it's a lot of people's gateway into the comic book universe. Like, there's a lot of people now that were like 8 or 9 when Iron Man came out, and it was one of the first movies they saw in the theater. And then now they're like 18 and they've seen all like 25 or whatever Marvel movies. That's what the animated stuff in the 90s were for us. Like, that was our gateway. And like I said, culturally, it was different back then. People went to the movies, but kids sat on the weekends and watched cartoons, or they came home after school and watched cartoons. So that was our, universe that led us into to this world. And some of us chose to still go read the comics, and some of us didn't. Like, if you watch Red Letter Media, you'll notice Mike Stokasa references the cartoons sometimes because he must have watched them, but he doesn't know anything about the comic books. So he's one of those people that, like a lot of MCU fans now, like they'll watch the movies, but they won't go read the comics. And Mike sounds like that. Like, he watched some of the cartoons and knows who those characters are, but hasn't really read the comics. So there is that a lot. So I think people do their best when it comes to their work. They try to put out the best cartoon possible. But because those 90s shows did them so well, a lot of shows nowadays are like, well, if we copy any of that, that's literally what we're going to be doing, is copying. So they're trying to do new things. And that's probably not just a mandate on themselves, but also the companies that hire them to do these shows. They're like, do something different, do whatever. And sometimes they'll probably do the same, and they don't want to do the exact same. So I think there's a lot of, it's hard, I think, to top those cartoons we grew up with. So I wouldn't say there's not quality animated stuff content now. I just think it's hard to top it. But you're right about Marvel. I think Marvel has always suffered with the animated stuff, compared to DC. I agree with that completely. I really want Dark Knight Rises or Dark Knight Returns McFarlane figure. I hope that looks dope. Oh yeah, just like a big bulky Batman. That'd be cool. Make a Carrie Kelly figure and maybe like a mutant. Maybe do a mutant Build-A-Figure. That could be cool. I think McFarlane's big thing is he wants to do a lot of figures that haven't been made before, like some that have, and so he can put his spin on them, like John Stewart Green Lantern, or Superman Action Comics 1000, or Gal Gadot Wonder Woman. Like, those have had figures before, but not like to this quality. And I think that's what he's going for. And then every once in a while he'll throw in like an obscure character, but mainly he's sticking with a lot of icons. He's trying to stick with the big guys. He's certainly making a lot of Batman stuff. But like to have a Shriek figure, a Batwoman Beyond, and a Blight figure this year, that's crazy to me because those aren't they're not massively known like Terry McGinnis is. So even though people like Batman Beyond, there are a lot of people that are like, Shriek, which one was he again? I'm like, white gloves, shoot sonics, shoot sound waves. Yeah, pretty cool. I always like that episode because I think there was an episode where he turned his dial down and he could mask his sound, so literally Batman couldn't hear anything. So for a part of the episode, Batman was deaf and he had to fight this guy. That was pretty awesome. I'll go send Todd a Venom request. Yeah, no kidding. Todd did, so if you haven't seen his panel from WonderCon, you should go check it out. It's so funny. I got a lot of emails from people because I'm on the press list for WonderCon. I responded to some and I said I'll try to make videos on some of these, but I wasn't feeling well that week, and it was really tough. And then I also had to work that weekend, so I couldn't really balance it out for some of it. But obviously, Warner Brothers, I was like, hey, whatever you need, I'll do whatever you want. Because the guy who emails me from Warner Brothers and sends me stuff for the DC animated stuff for Alex and I's show on Thursdays is he's super nice. So I'm like, I'm happy to talk about any of this. So I went and watched their panel for the DC animated stuff, and then for JSA World War II, and then I looked over and saw. I just went to the Comic-Con YouTube channel, and they had 40 panels. All the videos were posted. And they had 100 views, 50 views, 200 views, 20 views. It was bad. And this was a whole day after WonderCon ended. So I was like, wow, these panels got no one was talking about WonderCon. Not a lot of articles went up about WonderCon information. WonderCon just completely was ignored by the masses. It didn't trend on Twitter or anything like that, as far as I know. So no one was talking about it though. So I'm going through the list of all these videos that are getting no views at all, and then I get to Todd McFarlane's panel, and that one had 3,000 or 4,000 views. I was like, look at that. If I was McFarlane, I would post a screen grab and be like, we were the most watched panel at WonderCon. So anyway, so I watched his panel, and he talked about that he has some new licenses because obviously he makes Fortnite figures and sports figures and Warhammer and things like that. and obviously DC. But he was like, we have some new licenses coming up, so we'll talk about them later this year. I kept hoping, God, I hope Todd McFarlane gets the license for Resident Evil. I would love to see a Todd McFarlane Resident Evil series, even if it's just one or two sets of figures, one or two waves. I would love to see that based on the new movie coming out. So that we would have like a Robbie, Amel, Chris Redfield, and a Kaya, Claire Redfield, and stuff like that. Hannah, Jill, and Yogia have him as Leon. Like, I'd be interested in that line, and maybe a zombie or two, or a tyrant, or whatever monsters are in the movie. Lisa Trevor or something, because we never got a Lisa Trevor toy, I don't think. So I was like, man, that would make I would make room for a Resident Evil shelf if McFarlane did the toys. But he did say they have a lot of DC stuff coming out this fall, including a Batmobile that's like 18 to 22 inches or something like that, like long, like almost 2 feet long. Because he held his arms out like that. And he goes, "We got a Batmobile coming." I'm like, which one? Which one are you making? I can't wait to see. Maybe it's a Todd McFarlane designed Batmobile. That's what I hope it is. But obviously, a lot of people are hoping for animated series or things like that. Or I think the Michael Keaton one got enough love with Lego and stuff. So I'd like to see a different Batmobile. Maybe even they'll do the new one by the Robert Pattinson one. I don't know. We'll see. Venom, do you have the Terry McGinnis figure? What's up? Right here. Bam. I already opened them up, my friend. So yes. Shazam. Oh shit. Okay, good. Good. I don't have the powers of the wizard. That just came in the mail today. So if you pre-ordered it on Target.com, you'll probably got your Batman Beyond. You'll probably get it this week. This coming week coming up. So happy Easter if you pre-ordered it. If you didn't pre-order it, you probably are not going to get this version because I don't know how many of these they made. There is, because this one came with the Build-A-Figure, the Batman Joker hybrid Build-A-Figure. So I don't know how many of these made, so I don't know if these were just for pre-order. But there is going to be a $20 version of this toy that you can buy on store shelves, I think, later this month, I think later this month, like after the 18th. But he has a different face sculpt. He looks more like the cartoon version. This version is not very cartoon related. Back when intros had lyrics, that's right. Intros were good back then. Do they? I don't watch a lot of cartoons anymore. I will say I did not like that new Transformer cartoon on Netflix at all. You don't have to say everyone knows Marvel's cartoons are trash. Well, no, it's I guess if you're comparing them to DC, it's just they don't match up in my opinion. I'm certainly critical of everything, but I do know it's not easy. Like I know when you have cartoons are a different beast. In the 90s, there was mandates you had to follow by the company, but they still gave enough creative control to do certain things. And if things were a success, they kind of backed away. The problem with cartoons now is they pump them out and reboot them so fast that you don't get time to earn the chance to get creative freedom. They don't last that long anymore. They're kind of like 1-2 seasons and then you're out, and then you get to do another show now. You don't a lot of times get a lot of luxury to just be creative. Like Rick and Morty, I think is a good example in South Park. Those are good examples of shows that earned their popularity and positions in the pop culture. So those networks probably are like, do whatever you want. We don't care. It's a weird ass show anyway. They probably don't understand it. Bunch of suits. Like they look at Rick and Morty and they go, "What the fuck is this?" They go, "Oh, what are the ratings?" And they see all the numbers and then see all the merchandise sales and they just go, "Oh yeah, keep making that weird shit. Whatever you want." But they don't have a lot of that over at Marvel and Disney. There's their animation stuff it's suffering a little bit. The DC stuff though has been fantastic, and I'm so excited for Long Halloween Batman. I think that's going to be good. For unknown reasons, in Mexico, the Merciless Build-A-Figure costs like 80 or 130 US. Really? Well, just by himself? Because like here you have to buy 4 figures to build them, and those figures are like $25 a piece. So that's $100 here in the US to build them. So that sounds right. Like that sounds not too far off. I mean, for $130 is ridiculous, but also $100 is ridiculous. So like, I mean, it's not really. I mean, you're getting good products, but I don't care about the other figures in the set. I just wanted the Merciless. So I'm not gonna pay that. No way. Josh, Babel was a great episode of Batman Beyond. In my opinion, it's the one where Shriek uses the tuning forks. That's what it was. Yeah, that Babel is the one where he messes everyone's language, right? Um, I was talking about that. I reference that episode a lot, but a lot of people don't pick up on it. I talk about Babel, like that biblical term of like the disconnect of language. Because I like words when they lose their meanings. Technically, that's Babel, right? Like I don't know if you've ever seen a movie called Pontypool. It's probably one of the neatest zombie movies I've ever seen. It's a zombie movie where the virus travels through speech, and then it gets into your ear like an earworm, like a song will or something, or a phrase will, and it'll get into your head like an earworm, and then you start repeating it, and then you repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, and then it drives you crazy, and you start bashing your head against the wall, and you bust open your head, and you're bleeding all over, and then you turn ravenous. And I was like, always loved that movie because it was like this low budget, single location zombie movie that used something like a biblical thing to transfer a zombie virus. I thought that was really neat. But yeah, that episode of Batman. So sometimes you'll hear me say that when I go on my rants about how society, how we turn on each other, and how we have these horrible things and the way we treat each other. Like Babel's a thing. Like that falls into that a lot because it's mainly people branding people certain things without knowing the meaning of the word really, but they say it. They're like, oh, you're this, you're this, you're this. But it's like, well, they're not really that. They're just a flawed human, like we all are, and sometimes the flaw goes too far and you go into like monster territory, but you gotta, but we all, everyone makes mistakes. So you gotta like, Babel is like this inability to understand forgiveness in a way because you're just blah 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 blah, and it's just and it gets intense and more tense and so yeah, Babel, that's good. I'm glad you brought that up, Josh. That's a great episode. I really want Alfred Pennyworth figure disguised as Batman. That'd be good. There's where is that from? Was that a comic or an animated movie where yeah, no, there was a comic book. When Dick Grayson became Batman, Two-Face didn't believe it because Two-Face, Harvey Dent has been there since year one, Batman year one. He worked with Batman, as with Commissioner Gordon. He knows all of Batman's moves. And so when he saw Dick Grayson as Batman, people were getting more pictures of Batman because normally Batman doesn't stick around for photo ops and stuff. But when Dick Grayson became Batman, he was getting caught by more cameras. He was being he's not as stealthy as Bruce. So Two-Face was like, that's not Batman. And I always loved that Harvey Dent figured that out. So Harvey Dent found a way into the Batcave and followed Dick Grayson and started beating his ass in the Batcave. But then Alfred showed up wearing the cowl, but he stayed in the shadows. But then later, after Two-Face gets beaten up and knocked down, because he just did it as a distraction, and then Dick Grayson got up and then cleaned Two-Face's clock. But then so there's a scene where Alfred turns on the lights, or he walks into the light, and it's just Alfred and like that bat cowl on, and it's like a little loose on his face. And I just thought that was funny. He had the white eyes though, but I was like, that's pretty funny. So yeah, that would make a cool figure. The Batmobile will be 66 along with the 6-inch retro figures of West. Oh, the Lego set. Yeah, I think I saw the announcement for that. Yeah, that's very cool. That's very cool looking. There was a time where I used to collect all the DC Lego stuff when I worked at Lego, but I can't afford Lego anymore. When I worked there and they were, like you got your discount, I was able to keep up with some of them. But with me collecting McFarlane toys now, I pretty much stopped collecting most of the things. Like, luckily, there was only one Halo set that came out in, was it December? And I bought those. And then the second series just came out, and there was only like 5 figures I wanted, so I bought those. So I'm done with Halo. So like until the next series comes out, like in a few months, I don't need to buy any Halo. I stopped collecting Transformers because a lot of the ones that are coming out now are characters I already have, or they're Beast War characters, which I like, but I just don't care to collect Beast War stuff. So so I'm just focused on McFarlane, and I love it. It's been awesome. Just the Merciless without the other figures. Oh, Just Merciless is 80 to 130. No, f that, man. That sucks. That's too much money. I get mine in the Batman and the Infected Suitman for 60 or 70 US. Wow, yeah. So around that. So yeah, sometimes you can find them on good deals and stuff, but wow, but that's a lot. I mean, 60 and 70 bucks for those 2 figures seems like a lot. I think the source is Batman Rebirth 3 or 4 or 5. The source for which one? For Alfred in the Batman costume? Well, from no, no, the one I'm thinking of is when Dick Grayson was Batman. So that was like, I think that was the Judd Winnick stuff. It was called Long Shadows. I think it was that. What is Lego thinking? Asking 60 for those ugly symbiote heads. Yeah, I know a lot of people are excited about them. I mean, they look fine to me. I'm not like, they don't like upset me or anything. But I can't. I'm not gonna buy them. Like, it's cool that they're making them. I always thought that was funny when I worked at Lego, and our first Carnage figure came out, and I go, this has to be Lego's first serial killer. Like, I don't think Lego's ever made a serial killer before. And literally, there was a minifigure of Carnage. I'm like, well, here's our first serial killer. I think that the way they explain it is they're like, oh, we based it on Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon. So it's not like Cletus Cassidy, whatever. But it's like, well, but you're being ambiguous. You just call him Carnage. So I'm going to say it's Cletus Cassidy and that you made your first serial killer. So, yeah. No, I meant the McFarlane Batmobile and oversized retail listed details. Oh, okay. They have an article on it. Oh, so you're saying the Batmobile might be the 66 one? That's interesting, really. I wonder why that is. But that's cool. So you're saying we're going to get a McFarlane Adam West Batman and Burt Ward Robin and Romero Joker? But that's a leak, right? I don't like talking about leaks. But that would, wow, I wouldn't have seen that coming, that's for sure. Holy shit. The stock image of the mom building the Carnage head is hysterical. I know, I know. I saw that on my Google search the other day. I was laying in bed and I was like, it popped up and said Lego has a new, Carnage thing, and I saw this woman in the video like putting the thing together, and I just started laughing hysterically. I go, God dang it, she's building this this serial killer's head. It's so good. That's so good. We better get King Tut. Oh my God. Yeah. Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite character from the Adam West era? I really like the look of Mr. Freeze from that era, but I mean, he was kind of a generic villain, obviously. But I kind of like Penguin and Catwoman, Eartha Kitt. Like, I kind of like them. That is certainly where I fell in love with Batgirl as a character in general, but also like redheads in general. I certainly Batgirl was probably there during my development years as a young man, but she was beautiful, and I think that was one of my first crushes was her, and then Kim Cattrall. I think I tweeted that once. I said like Kim. Someone asked me who my first crush was, and I said, well, I don't really remember, but I think Kim Cattrall was. So I said Kim Cattrall, and she actually retweeted it, like quote tweeted it, and she said something like flirty. It was like it made my heart skip a beat. I was like, oh, Kim Cattrall, still beautiful. King Tut was your favorite? Nice. King Tut. That's crazy. So yeah, so what did we talk about today? So we had the Batman Beyond figure. Like I said, this is the Target exclusive one. This is not the one that will just be on shelves, as far as I know. I mean, you might find this one on Target shelves if they release them this month, and they're not all bought up by those weirdos that go out and buy all the toys and don't leave any for fans. I really hate that so much. So you'll find one, but at Walmart, Amazon, and stuff, there's a different version of this one. So this is just the Target exclusive. There's a different version without the Batman Joker. So this is $25 if you see it at Target. If you see the one that's just Terry McGinnis, this is the comic book version of Terry McGinnis. The other one is the animated series version of Terry McGinnis. I really don't care which one I have. I don't care to own both. Like if I see the other Terry, I might buy it, but it'll be an impulse buy if I do. I have one. I'm like that. I like to have one of each character, except for my favorite characters. So like Superman, I have a couple different Supermans. Wonder Woman is the same. I have 2 John Stewarts now, but I have way too many more. I have way too many Batmans. I didn't think I would actually buy as many Batmans as I have, but all of them are so different and unique looking that I feel they're not just like repaints of the same costume. So for that reason, I don't feel so bad buying them, because you have like Flashpoint Batman. I have the Batman in the straitjacket from Last Night on Earth. You have the armored Batman, the Hellfire armor or whatever, the Hell Pit or whatever that armor's called. Um, I have Omega. I have the Batman with the trench coat from Death Metal. So they all look different enough, and like even this is like another Batman, but I'll probably have him be Joker. Like I'll probably have him be like robot Joker when I build it all together. Um, I love Cesar Romero refused to shave his mustache, and he is the best Joker ever. Yeah, that's pretty awesome of him. He's just like, they're like, hey, will you shave your mustache? He's like, fuck you, and he just put white makeup on over it. My favorite is that the Lego minifigure of him has you can see the mustache lines in the white makeup. I love that little detail. I think that's pretty funny. But yeah, that's big dick move right there. He's like, nah, screw you. You have to CGI my face. You have to Henry Cavill me. But luckily CGI didn't exist back then, so they just covered it with paint. Off topic, for some reason, a McFarlane figure costs between 30 or 40 US instead of 20-25. The 2-pack of Flash costs 70. I think it's for some import rules about humanized figures. I don't know. That's interesting. I mean, I know, like, for example, I worked at Lego, and here in the US, we have our prices, and in the UK, they're pretty similar prices. But over in, like, China and Australia, Lego is a lot more expensive. Like, if you have, like, a $80 Lego set here in the US, it's probably, like, $140 or something, or something really crazy in Australia or China. So in California, when I lived and worked at that Lego store, we had a lot of people come over from China, like collectors and who were like on vacation, and people from Australia, and they would come into our store a lot and buy like a ton of Lego. Like they would spend like $400 on Lego, and buy a suitcase just to bring it back with them, because it was cheaper to do that than go back to their own home country and buy them there. In fact, I think Australia just got their first Lego store within the past few years, but still priced ridiculously. I'm sure there's some kind of weird thing with that with figures too. But yeah, here in the U.S., thank God the figures are only 20 or 25 bucks, because I certainly wouldn't own as many as I do if it wasn't for that, and for Target cards and credit cards. I probably wouldn't own them. What's up, Riddle John, dude? You missed the figure, so I'll show them for you real quick, Riddle John. We got John Stewart, Green Lantern, and I got Terry McGinnis, Batman Beyond. And then the Batman Beyond came with this Build-A-Figure part for Joker Batman. So, Riddle John is a really awesome dude. By the way, I still have a gift for you. It's been sitting in my trunk for like 2 months now. And so at some point I'll have to give it to you. But it's just like a thank you for all the stuff you've done. When I got locked out of my car, John helped me. When I worked at Lego, John helped me. He's an awesome dude, and I saw something. I was like, he's gonna love this. I got to get it for him. So I'll definitely have to meet up with you at some point and give it to you. But John was really nice the other day. I saw a comment on my Spawn video, my Kickstarter Spawn video. And John was like, I knew you had it in you to make a video like this. And he was like so proud of me. But what's funny, John, is that I used to make videos like that all the time. Back before I even got the current phone I have, I used to have a Kindle Fire phone. So the quality wasn't there, but I shot videos like that, toy reviews, where it was like music, and just like shots of the product. The only reason I did it this time was because I wasn't feeling well that day, and I didn't have the words I was like, I don't need to talk to show these toys off. I just need to film them. They're too badass. Like no one wants to hear me talk when I'm showing off these Spawn toys. Like the product speaks for itself. So I just put up a few captions here and there, like to explain what I was doing or what was going on. But it was funny. You seemed so proud. You're like a proud papa. And it made me laugh. So I appreciate the kindness. Are you getting any of the Zack Snyder League figures? I think with some exceptions, they look great, especially Darkseid. For my birthday, I said earlier, I pre-ordered the $200 Resident Evil Village box set, but then I canceled it because I'm not going to have $200 on my birthday to afford that. So before it charged my credit card, I canceled it. And what I did instead was I'm gonna spend $50 on myself and $50 on Echo. So Target has a deal right now on their website and in the stores. If you spend $50 on toys, select toys, you get $10 back as like a gift card or $10 off, whatever. If you spend $100, you get $20 back. So I went on their website and I pre-ordered 3 McFarlane figures. So the day I bought all of these, this and I bought Mr. Freeze in the little, those little Batman figures by Spin Master. They have a Target exclusive Mr. Freeze. So I bought John Stewart, I bought Mr. Freeze, and I bought the 2 Halo figures I was missing, the Sentinel and the Warlord Elite, or something like that. That came to $50, so they gave me a $10 gift card to use another time. It was like emailed to me. So then I went on the website and I ordered Cyborg from the Justice League movie, the Ray Fisher Cyborg. I pre-ordered him because all the other ones were sold out except for Henry Cavill Superman, but not him. I want the black suit Superman. I don't want the regular suit Superman for Henry Cavill. I want the black suit one. So I that was already pre-ordered, sold out on Target's website. So the only one that was left was Ray Fisher and Aquaman. But Aquaman looks terrible. God, he looks so bad. That's okay because I want a cyborg. I didn't buy the animated Cyborg, so I want Cyborg the character, and I liked Ray Fisher in the movie. So I said, all right, I pre-ordered him, and then I pre-ordered Wonder Woman with the Dr. Fate helmet on her because apparently that's some kind of exclusive. So I pre-ordered those 2, and then I pre-ordered Shriek, which is the next Build-A-Figure in the Batman Beyond series. So I pre-ordered the Target exclusive Shriek, the one that comes with the Build-A-Figure for this. Man, those things don't stay in there at all, man. I keep forgetting about them. That fell. I'll have to find it later because it's like pitch black underneath my desk because all the lights are like up here. So anyway, so I do have a Ray Fisher coming in, but the other ones were sold out. So the Darkseid one I'm not going to buy because there's actually a variant of that Darkseid that's going to come out where he has the blue chest armor. So the one where he has like he's from the flashback scene where he has the U in his chest or whatever, his bones are like protrude out or whatever, and he has the gray chest. I don't want that one. I want the one with him in the blue chest. So whenever that gets revealed, I'll get that one. Hopefully it's not a goddamn Entertainment Earth exclusive because Entertainment Earth was like, we got an exclusive from McFarlane, and I go shit because I don't want to order from them anymore because they suck. And then I saw that they got a Ben Affleck Batman, but where he has the Bruce Wayne head. But the head looks terrible. It looks like Matt Damon, actually. So I was like, no, good. I'm not going to order that. But yeah, I would like to get Black Suit Superman, the Henry Cavill one. I would like to, I don't think I'm going to get Ezra Miller Flash because I'm going to get the Injustice 2 Flash that comes out this month with Gorilla Grodd. I'm going to get those. So I'm, again, like I said, some characters I just want one version of. I really like the Injustice version of Flash. He's really cool looking. I like the suit. Because it looks like a cross between the show, like the TV show Flash, and like something a little more armored and padded up. So I like that version. So I'm going to get that version of Flash. So I probably won't get Ezra Miller version. I'm not going to get Aquaman. I'm probably not going to get Ben Affleck Batman, although it's a cool looking figure, but I have a lot of Batmans already. So, but I do want Steppenwolf big time. And I'll wait for the variant of Darkseid to come out. And I think there's a variant of Cyborg also, where he's got the full Cyborg head. But I don't know if I'm gonna get that version. I think that's a Walmart exclusive. It's more cheaper to buy figures in the U.S. and Mexico. Well, at least I can buy the figures that I want. Yeah, I mean that's what I've heard. Like I said, like people will come from other countries to get their stuff here in the U.S. or they'll, because it's just, I don't know. You said the prices are ridiculous. Oh my God, Batman Beyond looks awesome. Oh, you didn't have to, bro, but thank you, and we should get lunch. I was and am proud of you, bro. That's very nice of you, man. Yeah, we'll have to do lunch one day. Maybe not this week because I actually have the next 3 days off of work and I need to rest. Like I really, really need to rest. But maybe next week we can hit up. So text me. We'll figure it out. Armored Darkseid was supposed to be San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, but obviously San Diego Comic-Con radically changed So we'll see. Yeah, I think it was. So we'll see what they do. Maybe it'll be like a McFarlane.com exclusive or something, or maybe they'll just get it to a vendor like a you know I don't know. Maybe they'll make it a comic store exclusive. That would be nice if McFarlane did that for comic shops. Did something like that for them instead of Targets and Walmarts. But since there's not a lot of comic shops, there's more Targets and Walmarts. He wants those figures to get out there. But yeah, I don't know. That'd be cool though. I'm looking forward to seeing where that variant ends up. Yeah, Comic Con, they're in a lot of hot water right now because for some reason, they thought it was a good idea to have like a mini Comic Con on Thanksgiving weekend. I'm like, what the fuck are you thinking? Like, no, that's a bad idea. That's just a bad idea. Oh, what do you think about the Thomas Wayne unmasked figure? Oh, I did see that one. That one looks cool. That actually looks like a really cool figure. I have the other one, but the Thomas Wayne head doesn't look that great. Like, I don't know. I know it's kind of based off Andy or Adam Kubert's artwork, but I didn't really like the look of the head. It's weird because McFarlane's really good at detail. Like this Jon Stewart head is awesome. It doesn't look like any particular actor, but it just looks really good. The Al Simmons head on this toy back here. Yeah, the Al Simmons head on this guy looks amazing. Like the detail's amazing. The Ray Fisher head looks amazing. The Henry Cavill head looks amazing. The Gal Gadot head on her figure looks amazing. So why the fuck does the Jason Momoa figure look so bad and the Bruce Wayne figure look bad, and the Thomas Wayne doesn't look bad, but it just doesn't look that great to me. So I have the masked version of the Flashpoint Batman, so I'm fine. I'll just keep the masked version. Hold on, I just found that piece. I stepped on it, so I wanted to get it real quick. Josh, he says, I plan to put a DC Direct unmasked comedian head on the unmasked Thomas Wayne. Oh, that's a smart idea. That's a good idea, actually. Sweet. But thank you guys for being here. I'll hang out for a little bit longer. It's only 11:15, and I'm getting tired, but I'm not like ready to go to bed tired. I haven't really eaten that much today, so I might grab a little snack after this. I did something really fun yesterday, so I haven't actually turned my PlayStation on since like, I don't remember, maybe January or like early February, maybe at the latest. I haven't even turned it on. I sleep in the living room. My bed is out there now because this room, like I said, I made this my studio. So the couch is in here. So if I have guests come over, they can sit on the couch, and then I have my desk here, or my computer desk here, and then I have a drawing desk here and writing desk, and then I have all my toys here, obviously, my stuff. This room is the only room that's decorated in the house. Everything else is empty, but my bed is in the living room, and my TV is out there with my PlayStation and my Xbox, and I have not turned any of them on in a couple months. And so last night, when I left work yesterday, I went to Target on the way home to buy some Mucinex and to get some stuff for my dog and things like that, and some orange juice for me, for my throat. And so I get home, so I'm at Target, and they were selling Wonder Woman 84. I guess that came out on DVD and Blu-ray, and but they had an end cap with all the different editions in it, and then on the bottom they had all the other DC movies that were like $6 each. So I had this, since I'm doing the Black Adam show, I've wanted to watch Shazam again because I haven't seen it since the theater. So I was like, my friend Alex talks very highly about Shazam every time we do our show. Which, by the way, the new episode, it'll go up tomorrow. I meant to post it yesterday, and I posted the Black Adam show instead by accident. So the new episode where me, Alex, and Shuddy watch New Frontier, that'll go up tomorrow. So that'll be our Easter video. So anyway, so I'm looking at all the DVDs, and I saw Shazam, and I said, well, it's only $6 for Shazam for DVD. I was like, I should buy it. And I go, wait a minute, I have HBO Max. I'll just watch on HBO. So while I was there in the store, I was smart enough to open up the HBO Max app, and I saw that Shazam is not on HBO Max. So I said, screw it. I want it for the show anyway. Like, I want to rewatch it. So I bought it for $6, and I brought it home. So last night, I wasn't feeling well, and me and Echo sat in the living room, or I put the turned on the PlayStation, and then blew off all the dust on the controller, and turned on my TV, and I wiped the dust off the TV because it's been so long. And I sat in bed with Echo without my phone, when my phone was charging or whatever. I wasn't on my Switch, and we sat and watched the movie together. And Echo was in heaven because him and my old roommate used to watch movies together all the time. Because my roommate would he'd come home from work, go out in the living room, make some food, and just stay out there for like hours and watch TV, movies, whatever. And Echo was always by his side because I was usually working nights at Lego. So Echo, I think, was like, oh man, like this is like the old days. So he curled up next to me, which he doesn't do a lot anymore because we're both kind of grumpy old men and we just kind of fall asleep when we fall asleep. He curled up next to me, brought his bone over, chewed on it for a little bit, and then eventually just passed out. And then he rolled over, and I was rubbing his belly, and he passed out again. And I sat and watched the whole movie, and I actually really liked Shazam. From a writing standpoint, I was really impressed. I was like, wow, I don't remember this movie being this good. Like I knew I liked it, but I didn't remember I liking it this much. So when I was watching, I was like, this is actually a really good movie because it's like a kids movie, but it's like dark at times, and it has some things in it that are like reminding me of like 80s kids movies, like Goonies and stuff. And I was like, that's neat. Like I feel like a lot of studios wouldn't want to go there. Like for example, like normally you would just want like you'd write a movie to where it's like, oh, he finds his original mom and everything's happy, and then that seems like so miserable for him. And I'm like that's, but it's so eye opening for him too. I don't know. There was like a lot of stuff in that movie I really just enjoyed. So it was fun. So I think me and Echo might try to do a movie night once a week, where I actually just sit and watch something with him on TV instead of me on my phone or my tablet, like my Kindle, and I'll watch HBO Max movies on that, and I'll just sit in bed with the headphone on. I think what I'll do instead is I'll start watching more stuff on TV. I don't know why I stopped doing it. I just did. Well, at least eBay and AliExpress exist to help us with custom heads. There you go. There you go. So anyway, yeah, I just went off on a random rant there. Sorry. I get confused sometimes. I will say this. I joined this writing group on Wednesdays. My friend Nathan has been really good. He's a lot like my friend John, who was in the chat earlier. Nathan, he's my emergency contact. So like when I was at SeaWorld and I had that day where I got dehydrated and I had to go to the hospital, he came and got me with his friend Steve. When I was at Harley and I forgot, like everything, like that whole week, Nate came and got me. Nate's like a really awesome dude, and I think, since I moved here almost exactly 1 year ago. I mean, 1 year and like a week. I think March 28th or 27th was when I got here to Florida. So I've been in Florida for a whole year now, and it's gone by so quick, and I don't even remember some of it. But I can't believe how much I've done in this 1 year. Like as far as like how many jobs I've gone through and had, and how many health things I've gone through and had to deal with. So Nate was like, I think like, hey, I'd like to include you in more stuff. But Nate's he's a busy guy and he does a lot of things. He's trying to, work himself and get jobs and stuff like that. He works freelance stuff. So it's hard. So he does this group every other Wednesday where it's like him and two of his friends, and they just meet on like Google Hangout, and they talk about their scripts. Like, so they'll be like, hey, here's a short story I wrote. Here's a 10-page proof of concept I wrote. And then we read them, and then we give notes to each other. And at first I didn't want to do it because I was kind of like, oh, that sounds neat. And I know what Nate's trying to do. So I said yes for that reason. But then I was like, I'll do one or two and I'll see how I feel. But I can't put more things on my plate right now. Even something as simple as this. But I have cut out a lot of things, and obviously I'm not making 15 videos a week anymore. So I do have the time to do stuff if I want to. And so I said, okay, I'll do it. And so I went and, went to the first meeting on Google Hangout, and I had fun. But I didn't really contribute that much because I was like, just kind of like, wow, these guys have really good ideas. Normally when I'm I just keep thinking about the days when, I got pitches from Top Cow, like when I was doing the contest and stuff, like you read a lot of bad stuff until you get to the good stuff, obviously. And I just was like, I don't know how this is going to go, but it was really neat. So then we met again this last Wednesday, and it was a blast. I had like just the funnest time in the world. And they inspired me to write a short story because they were all doing these short stories. And I was like, I like this format that they're doing. So obviously I'm working on Neverland right now, so I don't want to do another long project until I finish this. But I was like, I think I could pump out a 10-page story like pretty quickly. So then as they were talking to me, I was telling them, I was like, well, I have this idea about what it's been like to develop early onset dementia, and like what that's kind of been like and how scary that can be, but also, the challenges that brings and the things I'm doing to try to overcome those obstacles. And they were like, well, you should write that. That sounds great. And I said, well, maybe, yeah. I mean, I was working on it, but I had started like an outline kind of, but I was like, you know what? They're right. I should write it. So last night when I couldn't sleep, I stayed up till like 4 a.m. and wrote the whole thing. And I cried writing it, like, because I'm sharing things that like I don't share on here with you guys and stuff. And so I will find a format to put that in. I'm going to bring it to the group and have them help me fine tune it, maybe give me some feedback on it, and then maybe I'll find like a short story contest, like people who you can submit a short story and get it, published or get, win a prize or something like that, like win prize money. I might submit it to one of those, but if I submit something where it needs votes, I might bring it to you guys and share it with you. I'll put it up on a website somewhere or whatever, and post it, and you guys can read it, and then tell you if you want to go vote for it. I'll put a link in the description box. So just so you know, like I might share something like that with you guys, which I normally wouldn't, and not for any reason against you. It's nothing against you guys. It's just because like I like to keep some things private. I mean, it's just how I am. It makes no sense. It doesn't benefit what I do here on the show to be open about some things. And plus, like I said, the show I like to keep focused on. It's not just political topics I don't like talking about. There are some things about myself I don't like to talk about. So so that kind of stuff. So I might share that stuff with you guys, but I think it's one of the best things I've written in a while. But I think Neverland is probably the best thing I've ever written. So I'm excited to share both of those things with you guys this year. So you'll see later this summer when Neverland is 100% done and it's going off to the printers. You'll see me making videos. I'm going to give them to the Kickstarter backers first, obviously, but then after like a week or two, I'll upload them here to YouTube, and you guys will see me talking about what it's been like to make. It'll be like I'm basically going to make like special features for King of Neverland. So, but I'm going to wait till the book's out there and people can ingest it first, and then I'll put up the special features. So it'll probably be later this summer, but you'll start seeing those videos going up later this summer, and it'll be me talking about characters, how I came up with them, all that stuff. Certain scenes. We'll break down like a battle scene or a chapter. We'll break down, do a commentary on a chapter. So there's going to be a lot of fun things like that, and that's going to be a lot of the content you'll see on my channel this probably this fall, and going into after Venom comes out, it'll be a lot of that kind of stuff. So the channel will kind of change a little bit. We'll still do the Black Adam show leading up to the Black Adam movie next summer, and we'll do Resident Evil on my other channel and Venom here. But once Venom comes out in September and Resident Evil comes out in November, and the Black Adam comes out next summer in July, I don't know what the future of this channel will be after that. I'm trying to just play things, like 6 months at a time. So my 6-month plan right now is to get to the point where I start sharing those creative things with you guys, and you guys get to see that I actually have some level of talent. I'm not just an asshole who critiques things. That I do have some level of talent, and that I want to share it with you guys and other people. So I hope you guys like that stuff when it comes out. I hope you're gonna like it. But I also know I'm opening myself up for criticism too. But I like that too. I like the idea that I sat here for 4 years and criticized writers like Donny Cates and other people with their writing. So I'm very much looking forward to hearing what people think of my stuff. I think it's going to be a good learning and growing experience for me. So Nate is an awesome guy. I already like him. Yeah, I think he would like you too. One day I'll have to put you guys in a room together because you like to film stuff and Nate does freelance filming stuff. So I have no doubt in my mind you two are going to meet one day, John. Ooh, that sounds fun. Cunning in the house. Cunning in the house. Cunning in the house. Okay, Cunning. in the house. Okay, cunning in my mouth. Oh man, classic, right? Things always get sexy when OK Cunning comes in. If by the way, if John, earlier you said you liked my Spawn video with the toys, the Kickstarter toys. If you like the music in that video, OK Cunning is Mound Maker. He's the one who made the song that you hear in that video is his song. It's called Moonlit Water. It's one of my favorites. But yeah, OK Cunning is he's just one of the best human beings. And by the way, so now that I'm off for a couple days, maybe we should schedule a chat at some point, dude. Maybe on either Tuesday afternoon, maybe, or Monday at some point. Let me know, because I have your number, obviously. So I was going to text you tomorrow and see if you wanted to chat at some point, either on Monday or Tuesday, because it's long overdue. And I've been with work and everything. I've been kind of like, I'm going to get to it. And I'm like, well, I'm off for 3 days and I'm going to be basically on bed rest for some of it. So I think it'll be a good time to call you and chat with you for a little bit. So, so let me know if you're down for that, or if you want to like play a game and chat over, Twitch or PS4 chat, because I still got to finish Resident Evil 4, so we can chat that way, and I can, we can stream it or something, like whatever you want, man. I will make time for you on Monday. I can't do it Tuesday morning, but anytime after like 1 p.m. on Tuesday, I probably could. But Monday I'm open all day. So, well, the pre-order for Darkside is for $75 US. Holy cow, Pepe sad for sure. Oh my God, we should film a mini documentary. What, for Neverland stuff? I'm down for that. I'm totally down for that. Yeah, let me know. Let's brainstorm that. That's not a bad idea. Because what we could do is you can come to me when I go to the printer. I plan on finding a printer in May, and maybe by the end of May going to the printer, and discussing like how much it's going to cost and get all that stuff down. So yeah, maybe we can do that. Maybe we can go to you can film my interaction at the printing place. Like, I mean, of course, I'll ask them if we can do it first, but yeah. LOL. Oh, my dude, I love you too, man. It's been a while. When I used to be a Twitch streamer, OK Cunning and his lovely wife was always in my chats with like Jomly and a lot of other people, just always and Angel Rose and stuff, like always in there keeping me company, chatting with me, making me laugh. So if you've never just went to my gaming channel and just checked out any of my streams over there, like I think I have the what's the Yarny game called again? Unravel? Is that it? Unravel? If you've never just gone and checked out any of those streams over on my channel, they're fun because it's just me. It's just people like OK Cunning and everyone and Spacey and everyone just like making me laugh. Like they're good memories. So that's why I keep them on that channel. Like a lot of people are like, why do you keep this gaming channel up? You don't really do much with it. Now I'm uploading, I have a Resident Evil show over there, like Venom blog, but it's called Nemesis, and it's like we're like 65 episodes in, and we've been following all the new Resident Evil reboot news, Resident Evil Village news. I've been beta testing the Resident Evil Versus game, or RE-Verse game, which I'm going to be doing again later this week. They're opening up beta testing again, so on Thursday, I think it's open, so I'll probably beta test it on Thursday. So yeah, so you'll see more of that over on that channel. But people are like, some people are like, why do you keep that up? You don't really do anything on there. I'm like, well, now I do the Resident Evil show on there, so it justifies it a little bit more. But I like the memories. Like I will sometimes. I don't really like to watch a lot of my old stuff, but sometimes I will go to that gaming channel and watch one of my old playthroughs because I'll just to hear myself laughing at silliness that me and Cunning and Spacey and everyone are getting into. So yeah, so if you ever check those out, like they're good background noise for sure. Yeah, Neverland stuff. All right, Unravel. That's what it was. Yeah. So if you want, let's brainstorm. I'm not ready to do any of that stuff this month for Neverland. I really want to try to make sure I have the first book to where I can send it out, the PDF of it. I want that out soon. I think I promised it for May, and I'm really hoping I can deliver. It's pretty much done, but there's something about it. So we're just going through it. And then I keep finding typos, so God, that's going to suck. People are going to be like, how many times have you edited this and there's still typos? It's like, fuck, dude, I don't know. That book is like a blur to me, that first book, because I've been mainly working on the third book for the past, 8 months. So I just go back to the first book every now and again when I feel like ornery, I guess. But I'm like, that first book is like a damn blur to me. I can't even remember what happens in it sometimes. I know the first like 5 chapters by heart by now, but the latter half, I'm like, is that in book 1 or book 2? But yeah, it gets crazy. Vampire MILF is waiting for us. So, yes, step on me, Countess or whatever her name is. Yeah, it's funny. I do a Resident Evil show and I follow Resident Evil the reboot, the movie news, but I've only done like maybe like 10, maybe 5 videos or 6 videos on Village. And people are like, you should talk about Village more. I'm like, you can watch Where's Barry or you can watch other channels that do that. I go, I'm here for the Resident Evil reboot movie. That's what made me start that show. I was like, yeah, I'm excited for that movie. So I'm more there for that. I'm bummed I missed the pre-order for the McFarlane variant. Are you talking about the Batman Beyond variant? Because yeah, that's the one we were talking about today. Mine came in today, so that's why I wanted to do a show where this is more of like a Seek and Destroy episode. It's like an AMA, but at the beginning of the episode, we unboxed John Stewart and Terry McGinnis here. But yeah, I understand. I knew the day it went up for pre-order that it was going to sell out. I thought it would sell out the day it came out, but luckily it didn't because my credit card wouldn't go through or something, or my Target card or something, like it wouldn't process. So I had to wait, and then like the next day after I like emailed the bank and stuff and called them, they were like, "Oh yeah, you're good." Yeah, so it must have been my credit card. So they were like, "Yeah, you're good." No, it was my debit card. That's right, my credit card for some reason wouldn't work. So I put on my debit card, and then and I pre-ordered the day after it went live, and then the day after that, I tried to go back to pre-order a second one, and it was gone. It was said pre-order sold out. So it sold out within 48 hours, I think. But I figured it might because this was actually fan demand. Like McFarlane only made this figure in this series because fans wanted Terry McGinnis. Like they were like, make that man. It was like one of his most requested figures to be made. So I knew it was going to sell out. And I also was like, yeah, I'm kind of into the Build-A-Figure, and I'm going to get all the other figures in the set anyway, I hope. I pre-ordered Shriek, and I'll pre-order Batwoman Beyond and Blight when those are available too. So I plan to get them all, but I understand that frustration because they went out pretty quick. But yeah, I had an issue with it. But then this sucked big time. So I live check to check, so sometimes I'll have like $40 in my bank account. When you pre-order something at Target, they charge you the one time to make sure it processes, and then they release the money back into your account, and then they don't charge you fully until it ships. So you just got to make sure that around the time it's going to ship that you have money in your account. But for the past 2 months, wherever warehouse this came from, they kept charging me. So they would charge me $26, and then it overdrafted my account. And I go, why am I getting charged $26 from Target? And then so I, would like transfer money to make it back to zero so I don't get an overdraft fee. Then the money would get put back into my account, and then the next day I'd check, and it was like, oh, now you have $26 more in your account. I go, what the hell? And then a week later, it charged me again, and it overdrafted me again, a second time. And I was like, what the hell is this? So when I called, they were like, oh, this is some toy from Target. And I go, Batman Beyond. So Terry McGinnis here overdrafted me twice. The second time, they totally charged me an overdraft fee. They were like, we let you get away with it once, but not a second time. So it cost me another $35 from my bank to get this damn toy. So this toy technically cost me like $55 or $60 almost. So yeah, not a fan of that Target. So I hope they don't do that again with the new ones I just pre-ordered. But yeah, that really sucked that they kept charging me. I think that was because they tried to ship it like 3 times, and then it didn't. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they ran out of figures, or they had to get them from another warehouse or something. But yeah, it sucked. So be aware when you pre-order on Target. But I'm sorry that you missed out on it. Hopefully, some still hit stores. I'm hoping they made some extra and that they'll still put them in stores. I know there will be the non-exclusive one that you can buy in stores where it doesn't come with the Build-A-Figure, and you get the cartoon accurate version of Terry McGinnis. This is more the Batman Future's End version of Terry McGinnis. But yeah, so I hopefully you still end up with a Terry McGinnis. But yeah, sorry to hear that. For Batman Beyond, yes. Oh, what do you think about the Immortal Hulk Select figure? I didn't see that one. I don't think. Oh yeah, I did see that one. That's fine. I have. Oh wait, no, Immortal Hulk figure. I have not seen that one. No, I didn't. I didn't know that was coming out. I'll be honest. I haven't. The only toys I keep up on are the McFarlane ones. I stopped collecting Marvel Select and Marvel Legends. Maybe if they do another Venom wave with characters that I want, I'll get the next Venom wave. But I'm done collecting all that stuff. I just collect the McFarlane stuff now, and then if whenever they make new Halo figures, I'll buy those. That's all I buy now. These I buy the Diamond Select statues. So my friend Alex just gave me this one. Oops, sorry. Black Adam. So you will actually see a small video on this. Kind of how I made that Spawn video. I made like a quick 2-minute video of just glamour shots of this. So I'll probably put that up as a Black Adam episode at some point. I filmed it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I might upload it. I might not. I do that a lot. I'll film things and I go, it's not the best. Maybe I won't upload it. And then I convince myself it sucks. And I don't upload it. I thought it was out in May. I don't usually pick up figures. Yeah, this one, it's an April release. I think the thing is I get all my information from McFarlane on Instagram. So I would say if you don't follow him on Instagram and you go off his website or anything, I wouldn't do that. But yeah, so it's on the back of the box here. So you got the artwork and what the Build-A-Figure is going to look like down here. You have the figures in the set. They're trying to keep it a mystery, but obviously we all know who they are. It says April 2021 for this figure. June 2021 for Shriek. Which is funny though, because I pre-ordered it on Amazon, on a Target, the Target exclusive. I pre-ordered the Shriek figure with the Build-A-Figure part, and it says it's coming out in the middle of May, and it says the non-exclusive is going to come out in June. So, yeah, so maybe we'll get it in May. So Shriek is supposed to be June 2021. Batwoman is August, which the 8th month of the year, and then October is going to be Blight. And now Blight is not going to be based off of the cartoon series. I mean, obviously he's the villain in the cartoon. He's the one who kills. He orders Terry McGinnis' father to be killed. But it's the comic book version. It's from the Dan Jurgens run. So he's going to have a different look to him. But I'm okay with that because I'm just glad we're getting a Blight figure. Hey, Venom Balor, what's up, dude? Welcome back. You done messed up, Tarjay. And I have a Hulk figure of Marvel Select is the Unleashed Hulk. That face sculpt is based on the Mark Silvestri Hulk, and it's really dope. That's awesome. I used to work for Mark Silvestri when I worked at Top Cow, and he's the nicest guy in the world. And even after I left Top Cow, I would see Matt Hawkins sometimes, and I would say hi to him. But I don't know. I think I might have upset Matt when I left Top Cow. And so I always felt bad about that. But I always loved Matt. I mean, I always speak highly of Matt. I love that guy, and he was a great mentor. But Mark, like even after I left Top Cow, Mark would see me at like Artist Alley, like signing my books, and he would always say hi to me. Him and his wife, they're just the nicest people in the world. And so is Matt. Matt's just the coolest guy. Yeah. So Mark's Hulk that's a great figure to have. Hey, Sharky, what's up? And that new Suicide Squad trailer, it's funny because you always have people go, rated R is better, rated R is better. I do not like the rated R version of the Suicide Squad trailer. It's okay, but it didn't blow me away. I saw a lot of people going, it's amazing, it's amazing. I'm like, yeah, it's cool, but the dick jokes and all that, I'm just like, I don't like that kind of, like, it's bro humor. I don't know. I'm not into it. So I'm like, I don't fucking care. A whole beach of dicks. What a stupid thing to write. Then I saw the PG-13 trailer, and it's so much better. And I was like, shit. I guess they need to make this movie PG-13. But so now I'm like one of those people. I'm like fighting for a rating. But no, it's just funny. But I like the PG-13 trailer more. I thought it had more in it. You saw Polka Dot Man do more stuff, and you saw all these like cool big moments. But I really, I like that trailer more, the PG-13 one. But when I saw King Sharky, it made me think of that. He's like, and I love that so much. He's like, oh, we're all gonna die. And Polka Dot Man's like, I hope so. And he's like, for fuck's sake. Do you have an opinion on the first appearance of Batman Beyond in DC continuity in comics? Well, his first appearance was this story, right? Was this right? The Future's End. I don't know if I've ever read Future's End. I can't remember because the downside for New 52 was I bought all the New 52 books when they first came out, like all of them. I had a subscription to all 52 titles for a whole year. I think some of them got canceled 8 issues in, but then they got replaced by another book. So for a whole year, I bought all 52 titles that were coming out, whichever they were. And then after that year, I was like, okay, a lot of these suck. Like a lot of these are just the worst. And I still stand by that. They're still terrible. So I dropped, I think, like 80% of them. I went from 100% buying all of them and not buying any Marvel stuff or nothing. Well, I was still buying Spawn, but other than Spawn, I was buying nothing else. Spending all my money on just that. And then I said, this is a colossal waste of money. A lot of these books suck. So I dropped 80% of the books. And then I kept up with those for another 5 issues, 6 issues. And then I dropped down to like 5 books. And then I dropped down to 2 books and stuck with those until the end of the New 52. And that was it. Just 2 books. I think it was Batman and Robin up until that ended by Pete Tomasi. And then there was Green Lantern I stuck on for a while, but I didn't stay till the end. But I did like the Venditti stuff. I just was like, I'm saving money. So by the time they got to Future's End, I don't think I was really reading a lot of DC stuff. So I probably own an issue or 2 of Future's End that tie into Batman or something, but that's probably it. So I don't know if I've read that story. So if that's the story you got introduced in, I don't have an opinion on it. I do own it digitally because it was on sale at one point, like not too long ago. So all of Future's End was like, I think like $7 a piece for each trade on Comixology. So I spent the $21 and bought all 3 of them because I am interested in reading it because of Justice League Dark Apocalypse War is kind of a little bit based off of this with the robot people and the OMAC stuff and the anti-life. So I just haven't read it yet. So I don't have an opinion. But it's Terry McGinnis, and I don't know. It's long overdue. He belongs in the DC universe because I think that's probably one of the best additions to the Batman lore, and it's so good that I think it does deserve a spot in the comics. Because every time they're like, "Oh, we're going to do future Batman," it's going to be Dark Knight Returns. It's going to be this kind of take on Batman. I'm like, that's a great Frank Miller Elseworlds. Like I never thought that was ever going to be the real future of Batman. It just felt like its own thing always. And I think Frank Miller always meant for it to be its own thing. So I never looked at that as the definitive future of Batman. But Batman Beyond, I do. Like, I don't know. I know he's the definitive future of the animated universe, but I like it so much that I kind of wish he was the definitive future of Bruce Wayne's universe. But obviously there's Damian, there's a bunch of different futures for Batman. But yeah, I don't know if I have an opinion on that. Ink, yes, I wish that because when they said they were going to do a female figure, I thought it was going to be Ink, but they made it Batwoman Beyond. Who I'm like, who the fuck is Batwoman Beyond? Like, she wasn't in the cartoon, so she must be from the Dan Jurgens run, which I only own a few issues of when they brought Joker back, but which was like near the end of the run. And I think I only bought those because they came out around the time of the Joker movie. So I just wanted some Joker content to talk about. Because remember, we used to do a Joker show on this channel. We followed the production of the movie and leading up to the movie and stuff. And I deleted them, all that whole series, because I thought I was going to get in trouble for YouTube because I had the Venom vlog, which was like it's a T-rated show, but the Joker movie was an R-rated thing. So I cussed more in it. It was more R-rated content. And I thought I was going to get in trouble for not picking a lane, so I deleted all the Joker episodes. But we had like 50 Joker episodes on this channel at one point. But yeah, so Ink, yeah, I was hoping it would be Ink, but it's Batwoman Beyond, who I don't know who that character is. So yeah, but I would like Ink. Yeah, Ink is great. I have an idea for a Batman film with young Keanu Reeves and Willem Dafoe as Joker, and a 1996 release date. That's awesome. Young Keanu Reeves and Willem Dafoe in like 1996. So instead of Batman and Batman and Robin was 1998, right? So what was 95? Was Batman Forever or 96? I can't remember. I think there was like 3 years in between those movies. So okay, so 1996 release date. Keanu Reeves is Batman. Willem Dafoe is Joker. Plus, my Commissioner Gordon would have been Denzel Washington. That's a damn good Commissioner Gordon. Wow, that's a good cast, actually. I'm a big fan of Denzel. I think around 96 or late 90s, he did a movie called Fallen, which was, I love that movie so much. That's cool. That'd be a good cast for Commissioner Gordon. I don't know if I can go with you on Keanu Reeves for Batman. I do like Keanu Reeves, but I don't know if I mean I know he's John Wick now, and he could probably fight Batman, but I don't know if I see him as Batman. But then again, I mean, he's Batman's another one of those guys like Superman, where I don't really have a Batman I hate really. I guess I'm not a big fan of Titans, the show Titans, and the Batman they have on there. Like it's the guy from the Resident Evil movies, and I guess he was on Game of Thrones also. I don't know if I like him as Batman. Normally, I don't really. Everyone will bring something to the role, and I'll go, okay, I like that take, or I like this aspect of it. But yeah, I think he's the one. He's the one I haven't liked so far. But that's because I hate that show vehemently. Like I have an unnatural hate for that show, so I try not to talk about Titans that much. Because I watched that first season, and I had a friend that worked over at Warner Brothers who was like one of the people that kind of greenlit that show and got it made. And all of my reviews were really negative. Like if you remember, I used to post my reviews for Doom Patrol and Titans, but I deleted those too because those are like mature rated shows. So I was like, I gotta stay in my lane. I gotta stay in the PG-13 lane because it was either delete the Venom blog or delete the Joker stuff. And I was like, well, we got to keep the Venom blog on here. So yeah, so Titans though, I hate that show so much, and I think it's cast well. I think it's written and shot poorly. So yeah, so I don't know. Maybe I would like that guy more if it was a better show. Batman Forever was 95. Yeah, okay, so that was Val Kilmer. So yeah, it would have been too soon in 96, but I see what you mean. So you're talking about that era though. Yeah, I don't know if I can go with you on Keanu Reeves, but obviously people have wanted Willem Dafoe to play Joker for years. So I think he would be good as Joker. But I don't know. He played Green Goblin. I'm not a big fan of actors playing multiple superhero characters. No matter how good they are, I'd rather you get someone new. Like there's got to be someone out there who's like an up and coming actor that would be good for the role. I'm not a big fan of that show Gotham, but the kid who played Joker on that was pretty good. Martha Wayne Flashpoint figure, and I would be completed with Thomas. Oh, that would be cool. A Martha Wayne Joker figure that's a good idea, actually. That's a really good idea. I chose Keanu because he was going to replace Val, but the deal didn't go through. Oh, really? I didn't know that. I actually did not know that. I vaguely remember Howard Stern being talked to play the Scarecrow in Batman 4, which I think was originally called Batman Triumphant. And there was going to be a scene in it where the Scarecrow hits Batman with the fear toxin, and then Batman was going to see Joker, and there was talks about trying to get Jack Nicholson to come back and reprise the role for one scene, which I don't know. That would have been cool, I guess. I mean, that's definitely fanboy, hard on there. Like we could definitely get excited about that as fans. But from a movie standpoint and structure, I'm like, well, I guess that would be cool. But to bring him in for one scene for a nightmare sequence, it's like. They did that in if you played Injustice 2, they do that in Injustice. They bring like a Joker from like another world or something, or they bring him back in a fear scene where like you get hit with the fear toxin. So I was like, okay, that's a good reason to bring him back because he kind of died in the last game. Yeah, okay, so Keanu. I didn't know that, but I knew that they were talking about Howard Stern possibly playing Scarecrow because he had just made his movie. Whatever that movie, he made that movie that was based on his life, and he played himself in it. And so they're like, we're going to get him. We're going to make Batman Triumphant. And it's going to be darker. Don't worry. We're going to get Joel Schumacher. He's going to make a darker movie. And it's funny because Joe Schumacher did not make a dark movie. He made Batman and Robin, which was the opposite of a dark movie, and and then he went on to make one of the darkest movies I've ever fucking seen, with Nicolas Cage, called 8mm, which had Joaquin Phoenix in it, and and that is a really dark movie, and it's kind of a detective story, about snuff films, and like it's really dark, and I just kept thinking like, why isn't this the Batman movie? Like, why didn't we get Batman looking for like, you know, like the Mad Hatter, and the Mad Hatter like makes snuff films with and dresses girls up to look like Alice or something. Like, I know that's really dark, but I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I'll watch that movie. That's, you know, I know kids won't watch that movie, and they shouldn't. But I was just, you know, I was thinking about that. I was like, oh, that'd be interesting to have Mad Hatter, who's like already kind of a creepy dude anyway. And at that time, I would have liked to see Robin Williams play Mad Hatter, but he had already played a movie where he was kind of like a creepy guy into young girls, I think. And so I think he probably would have been like, no, I don't want to play that part again. But yeah, Mad Hatter is like a really creepy dude. He seems to like to dress up young girls as Alice in Wonderland, which is a really specific and weird fetish. So I just thought that would be cool for a movie. Is that, like, you know, Mad Hatter makes like these. He runs like a crime ring where he like gets 1%ers and like politicians and billionaires to like fund his mind control tech, you know, that he has, like where he like puts the playing card in your, you know, on a hat and put it on your head, or puts a band on your head, and it makes you susceptible to his control. Like, he gets like, he blackmails politicians into funding him for doing this by making them snuff films and recording it. And then so he has evidence that they do bad things, but he helps them do the bad things so he can blackmail them to get the money for his tech, and then makes a defense contract so he can maybe sell that tech to the military to use for some things. And so it would have been this whole thing where Batman's like unraveling the you know, like like bad politicians and like this, and the Mad Hatter, and like this creepy thing. And I was like thinking about that, and while I was watching 8mm, and I was like, why wasn't that movie ever made? But I'm sure if I go and sit in a Warner Brothers office and say that exact thing, all these you know, executives would just have their jaws on the ground going, get the fuck out. Like, I would pitch that movie to them, and they would just go, security. Like, there's like a long silence. I pitch the movie. I tell them about like snuff films and Batman tracking down a child predators, and and it unravels the government and everything. And then you just see some executive just listen, and they're bobbing their head, and then I finish, and they just go, hold on one second. And then they just reach over, grab the phone, pick it up, and just go, send security right now. And I just get escorted off the Warner Brother lot. Yeah, so you'll never see that movie, probably. Title, Batman: The Dark Beginning. Oh, there you go. The Dark Beginning. Sorry, I know this is off topic, but I just noticed you moved your painting. I did, because, so here's the thing, is we talked about this before, because you were talking about like, oh, you should use the lighting, and, you know, like more lighting and stuff. My issue with using lighting is that everything behind me is framed. All the picture frames are framed. So you'll see the reflection of the light behind me. So I said, you know what, I can move the painting in here, and that way that you won't see any reflection. So my screen light, you don't see reflected back here. The circle light, you don't see reflected back here. So I think that was a smarter move, I think, is to put the painting behind me. And then all the posters are down there. So my door is open right now, but if my living room light was on, or my hall light was on, you would see that reflection in that Green Lantern poster right there. But yeah, I gotta work. So I'm gonna get another, that light you gave me. So now I was trying this out tonight. That was the other reason why I wanted to do a live stream, was to kind of figure out the lighting. So now I can put that big light you gave me. I can put it over there, but aim it that way so that we won't see the reflection from this angle, but it lights up everything back there. Because right now you can't really see any of the toys on that row. You just see the LED lights, which looks nice when you walk in the room and as a backlight, but you can't really see the stuff. So I'm still tweaking the lighting. But yeah, you'll probably, in the next live stream or next video, you'll probably see one of those big lights, you know, aimed back there. The problem is, when I get headaches, I don't like too many lights on either, that are facing my face, because so I have the circle light here, but it's kind of facing a little that way. And then I have the computer, you know, reflecting on me. But when I get headaches, I don't like light in my face. It makes it worse. Alfred would be played by Sean Connery. Oh, yeah, before he gave up acting. Yeah. So that would have been before League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Which was his last movie. Is Eddie's mullet still in here? I don't know. I don't know if he is. Anyway, so yeah, we've talked for 2 hours and 15 minutes. I appreciate you guys chatting with me. We'll hang out for like another 10 or 15, and then I'll probably call it a night because it's midnight now. I'll probably end in 15 minutes, walk Echo. We'll be back in by 12:30, and then I'm tired, so I'll probably just take some more medicine and pass out. But yeah, so yeah, you'll see more creative stuff from me, and if John wants to be a part of that and shoot like a little documentary about me going to the printer and everything, I bought a book. Actually, do I have it? Let me see. I'll be right back. All right. So I bought this Five Nights at Freddy book. I don't know much about Five Nights at Freddy. I know what the game is, but I watched someone play it on a Let's Play once, but that's my only knowledge of it. So the other day I was at the doctor. I had to get a CT scan, and they had to check on my shoulder because for those of you who don't know, I mean, I dislocated my shoulder a while back. This is like 2 years ago now, but I never. I mean, I went to physical therapy because I dislocated my shoulder, but it popped back in, or at least I thought it did. And so I just tried to not use it as much, and then I hurt my back soon after. So then I went to physical therapy, and I told them about my back and my arm, so I got to work on it a lot. Well, they had to pop it because they were like, "This is not really popped in." I go, "Well, that explains why it fucking hurts." So they popped it back in, and then I guess I just let it heal on its own because that was I only went to physical therapy for like 2 months or something like that. So because that's all like Lego would pay for or whatever. So I left physical therapy and my arm was still hurting, but I guess I just let the rest kind of heal on its own. But the nerve damage it did was, while it was still unset, caused a lot. So over the last 2 years, like for a while I was on painkillers, so I didn't feel some of it for a while, but it gets bad. And so like lately, I'm at work and I'm lifting like helmets and I'm helping customers. I'm using this arm a lot more because when I worked at Lego here, I use the arm sometimes, but I usually lift it and put a lot of stuff, Lego sets I can lift with one hand, most of them, put them on the shelf. So I tried not to use this arm too much. And then when I worked at SeaWorld, I pretty much didn't because I was just, taking people's money. That would be the only thing I used my hand for, was to take someone's money. But I wasn't really lifting a lot with this hand, except for a few times we had to lift boxes, which made my arm hurt for sure. But now at my current job, my arm's been hurting a lot more lately. So I had them check it out, and it's just nerves. Like they're just like, you got nerve damage pretty much from here in my neck all the way down into the shoulder, and then down here into the chest, in the front of the chest, and then on the same side on the back. So it's just like this. I can almost picture like an electrical storm of just like it just pulsing, like, zzz, and it just hurts and hurts and hurts. So yeah, it's like I've been dealing with that. So anyway, so 5 minutes of Friday. I don't know how I got off topic on that. So anyway, so yeah, I've been resting a lot. So I went to Barnes and they checked my arm at the doctor and they did the CT scan and stuff. So afterwards, I was near a Barnes and Noble, and I was like, I haven't been to Barnes and Noble in a long time. Let's go check it out. So I went in there, just going through the comic books and the mangas and just checking out everything. And I go to the fiction section, and I came across this Five Nights at Freddy book. Yes, Freddy the Bear, Fozbear Frights into the Pit. So like this book, I picked it up and I'm like holding it and I'm doing this and I'm looking at it and I'm like rubbing my finger across it. And I notice I'm not getting any fingerprints on it. And I'm like, oh wow, this is the McFarlane toys have that. The box that these come in, you can smear your finger down it and it won't leave any streaks on it. It won't. It's fingerprint proof. So I really like that. So I was like, oh, this is fingerprint proof too, which is great for like something with a black, like cover. So I'm like, that's amazing that they did that. And then I'm like holding it. And I go, how many pages is this? And I was like, holy shit, it's almost exactly the amount of pages for the first Neverland book. And I'm looking at it, I'm just like feeling it. The paper inside is really lightweight. It folds easily. You can, it's like, it's really durable, but it's like, it's pretty solid as like, it's like a nice, it looks nice on the shelf. It has like the number on the side, which, now that there's 3 Neverland books, there's only supposed to be 2. So I had to start numbering them and stuff. Like, because the other ones I was like, oh, I can just call one King of Neverland and then King of Neverland side quests. And that's what it was originally. But now there's 3 books. So I'm like, oh shit. So now I have it book 1, 2, and 3. So I just liked the format. And I was like, you know what? I'm buying this. It's $10. So I bring it up to the counter. And the lady goes, and by the way, I was the only one in the store. Like, there was a girl working at the Starbucks, there was a girl working the front counter, and there was someone walking around with a cart, like stocking things, and me. 4 people. It was dead in there. And I felt bad. I was like, man, if I had the money to keep you guys all employed, I would buy as many books as I can just to keep you employed and to load up a bookshelf full of stuff at home. But I don't have that kind of money. So I spent $10 and I got this. And when I went to the counter, the lady was like, oh, are you Five Nights at Freddy fan? I'm like, nope. I go, my nephew is, and I've watched one Let's Play. And she goes, oh, so why are you buying it? You curious about the universe? I said, nope. I said, actually, I'm about to print my own book, and this just is how I want to print it. I literally want to go to the printer and bring this to them and hand it to them. So that's maybe something we'll probably film first, Riddle John, is why I picked this for the book. Like, we could do this as the intro before we go into the printers. So I can explain why I'm bringing a Five Nights at Freddy book to the printers to print Neverland. But that's why I did it. I literally just I like how it feels in your hand. It's very lightweight. It's something perfect for a kid. If you don't know, King of Neverland is a young adult book. So it's kind of like written like this, similar amount of words on each page. So it's not like, super wordy. It's not like super detailed. There's not a lot of big words in it. It has like breaks in it, like when characters are talking and it switches character POV. There's like a little break. The Resident Evil novels used to do that, and I did that with my book Rhino and Heaven's Echo. So I'm doing it again. So I don't know. So I told her, I was like, yeah, so I want to print my book exactly like this. Maybe not the fingerproof cover, because that doesn't matter to me. But yeah, because I think that costs like a silly amount extra. So, but still, the paper quality is very light, and this is a nice book, and it just kind of folds back and forth. You can do a good ASMR video with this book. You can tap on the cover and stuff. So yeah, anyway, so I bought that just for that reason. So that'll be something we can talk about, John. I'll bring it in to the printer. So anyway, I just want to show that off because I think some people are like, how much of your day really goes to thinking about King of Neverland? Because you post about it every once in a while, but really, like, are you really working on it? It's like, I fucking lose sleep sometimes working on that book. It's been such a blur and everything to me. So yes, I do. And I have to keep extensive notes because of the memory stuff lately. I have to keep extensive notes like, okay, I went through these chapters. Don't read them again. Like that, because it's, sometimes having a fresh perspective, I might read it and go, oh, what if I do this and this and this? And it might be something I already did before. So I got to be really careful with that. I think it's an interesting concept. What's that? Five Nights at Freddy? The room looks great, man. Love the blue lights. Hey, thank you. Yeah, actually, what blue lights? Oh, snap. What blue lights? Oh, green. What? Oh, yellow. Oh, white. Yeah, white, blue, pink, purple. Some of the pink and purples you can't really tell the difference of on screen here. It might be because of this. Let's see. Let's turn this up. Yeah. No, you can't tell that's purple. It looks blue on screen. So again, it's just more stuff I got to work on in this room. So thank you though. It took a while to set that up because the strip goes all the way up the wall, all the way across the top. So basically, this whole square here, the light goes all the way around that whole square, like behind the soundproof padding and all that stuff. In fact, the light, you can see the little slivers of it out the top and stuff and out the sides, but it's only when it gets down here where the toy shells are that it like explodes out. Oh, you get to send to Jeffrey Epstein Island. Oh, don't say that. I don't. No, don't. No. Go to Neverland. That's Michael Jackson's creepy place. Sounds good. If anything, I'll help you anyway. Oh man, I'd love to help you if you want to. Like, yeah, we'll talk about it, man. We'll plan. Maybe we'll plan like 3 documentary style videos. We'll do one of me going to the printer, and that'll be like a video for 1 month, and then we'll do something like in the middle for the second month while we're waiting for the book to be printed, and then we'll do the third one where I go pick up the books and then come home and start shipping them out, to the Kickstarter stuff and like start organizing all that shit. Um, yeah, I mean, we'll talk about it because I got to also check prices. I got to check all that stuff too. So you did what? This is the next level. Venomized, free to bear. Yes. King of Neverland. I'm excited. Seek, what's up, JD? King of Neverland side quest, King of Neverland. Cat lit up my mysterious light. Yes. I didn't have a name for the third one at first, but I don't want to reveal any of that stuff yet. Some of it's spoilers. So, oh, your Batman film, yes. Yes. Very cool. And scored my Christopher Young. Oh, Christopher Young, that'd be a good one. Nice. But thank you, Balor, and thank you, everyone. So yeah, but I think sometimes like it's like yeah, trust me, Neverland is always on my mind. My coworker Ciara likes hearing about it, so sometimes I'll like bounce things off of her that I already put in the book. I'll be like, oh, because she's like a more of like a broad audience. She's younger, so she's like a BTS fan. She's like the kind of person that might gravitate towards my book because she like read Harry Potter and like young adult stuff. So I'm like, okay, so she might be more of my audience because I think most people who follow me and who have read my comic stuff, like King of Neverland is going to feel very different. Um, and I think the short story I just finished writing, the story about dementia, I think that is going to be a little. I think some people will go, oh, this feels like a Sikh thing, but you'd have to really know me to say that. Um, but Neverland, I think, is different. I think people are going to go. It's structured the way Sikh would structure a story, but it doesn't feel like Sikh. It doesn't really feel like a Sikh story. But that's what I wanted. I wanted to write something that was different. Like I wanted to challenge myself as a writer and do something that was for an audience that was younger than me and that I don't really connect with often. So that's what I did that for. Because I normally write things that are more age appropriate for myself, but this was different. So yeah, so I hope people like it. I really do. Um, my do rag. I don't know if I have a do rag. Um, yeah, I don't have one, JD. I don't think I have one. Do I? I go well. I have a bandana. I guess is that what you mean? Um, it's a Halo bandana. Emil from Halo. It has like his gold skull on it. But I don't think I've ever worn that on stream. Maybe one stream once. I don't know. Um, anyway, yeah. Now I got all this trash everywhere, but I'm not going to clean it up tonight. I'm just going to leave all this filth on my desk, and I'm going to go out in the living room and just shut the door so Echo won't come in here tonight, and I'm going to pass out soon. Um, so hey, thank you everyone. Thanks for hanging out with me. It's almost 2.5 hours, so I feel like this is a good place to end the stream. I didn't really have a plan tonight. Like I said, I just wanted to see how the new lights looked from this angle because I had my computer over there when I live streamed Alex last week, and then I was like, let's move it back to its original spot because then everyone can see straight down, like the wall because you could before and you couldn't. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I'm messing with things and trying to figure stuff out. But I also wanted to open these John Stewart and Batman Beyond figures. So I'm glad I did that. I'm glad you guys can see them. Um, and I'll have our new schedule basically on Tuesdays. If I have, well, you'll definitely get one Venom vlog every Tuesday. If I have 2 episodes done that I can edit and post, then you'll get 2. You'll just get them both on Tuesday. But I'll do like one in the morning and one at night. On Wednesdays, in the mornings, probably, I'll probably do them in the morning. You'll get the new Black Adam show, the Vlog of Eternity. You'll get episodes for that, and you'll probably get one. If I have 2, I'll put 2 up. Um, and then on Thursdays, me and Alex will record our are beyond the source wall, but we're not doing them live anymore. And that's just because in case I have any health issues, I want to be able to edit that stuff out later. So far I haven't I didn't have any problems, but in case, it's just in case. So we're not really doing them live anymore. But I will post those will we record on Thursdays, but they'll post on Fridays typically. So I didn't post one this Friday. It was an accident. I posted the first vlog of eternity instead. It was supposed to be the Beyond the Source Wall. So that will go up tomorrow for Easter. So that way there's a video. Because tomorrow I'm just going to be working on Neverland all day and sleeping. And that's it. Hey, good night to you, to Little John. I almost called you Little John from Robin Hood. Thank you, Little John. And everyone else who was here today and popped in and asked questions, stuff, like, appreciate it very much. I know sometimes my posts are vague about stuff with health and everything, but it's like, yeah, some things I don't like to openly share or get too specific on because I'm not here to bum anyone out. Like I'm going through things, but it's fine. Like I'll be fine. I certainly overcome a lot of other stuff, so I'll overcome this. I have a whole multiple boards now in my living room. There's a whole wall. There's cork boards. There's a dry erase calendar with notes all over it and my work schedule and dates and doctor appointments and all that shit. It has like my boss's info at the bottom. If I need anything, my emergency contacts. It's got everything. Like these boards are amazing. Like it's me trying to get ahead of this, these memory gaps and stuff. And by taking notes, I have a cork board so I can, if I just need something important, I'll put it on there. Like I'm going to be interviewed on Tuesday morning. So keep an eye out on my community tab. Probably on Monday, I'll post information about the interview they're going to do with me on Tuesday morning. But there is this really amazing girl that I met on Twitter and Instagram. I think the time I shared about kind of some of the stuff I went through as a kid, I shared that on Twitter, and she reached out to me and said, "Hey, thanks for sharing that. Like I went through something similar, and I host this show. Like we would love to have you on it sometime." And I go, "Okay." And it's more a show about like they just talk to like creators and YouTubers and things like that. So we'll probably talk about King of Neverland and creative things in this show and stuff. But I'm sure we'll talk about some personal stuff at some point too. But that'll be coming up on Tuesday. So when I get, I'll get more information for it, and I'll post about it on Monday on the community board. So that way you guys know where to go on Tuesday to listen live if you want to. So thank you guys so much, Ballard. Thank you for being here. Eddie's Mullet, everyone else who popped in, King Sharky, Riddle John, JD, all of you guys, J Money earlier, Superior, let me see who else, Henry, OK Cunning, Josh G. Oh man, so many of you guys. There were so many people in here tonight, and I appreciate it so much. Ghetto came in, IPV, Jay, Tariq, all of you guys. FN901, thank you all so much. I appreciate it very much. And who was the first people in here? It was FN901, Eddie, and Valentin Perez. Eric Dilday was in here, and Andrew Kai. So I think hopefully I got everybody. If I missed you, I'm so sorry. I think I got everyone now. So thank you guys so much. As always, I will see you in the future, and you'll get you'll get our New Frontier episode tomorrow, and then on Monday I'll edit some things so that they go up on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Tuesday and Wednesday for you guys. So thank you so much. See ya. Peace.